AAA Men's Soccer Championship between number 3 Virginia and number 1 Indiana. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dave Johnson. You know, back in August, with aspiration championship, but now only 2 teams come. 5 Herman Award winners and over 40 All-Americans have showcased Virginia and Indiana. And now for the second time in the 90s, these 2 teams will meet on this field this afternoon, but this time the NCAA title is on the line. Now, when we come back, we're going to show you how these 2 teams reached today's title match. Plus, Desmond Armstrong joins me to break down today's game with some of the best coaches in America. All that and more as our Championship Sunday preview show continues from Davidson, North Carolina.
Prime Network's presentation of the NCAA Men's Soccer Championships is brought to you by Soccer America, America's #1 soccer publication for 23 years. By Duckhead, life's a road trip, pack your Duckheads. By Adidas, dedicated to the game of soccer and the athletes who play it. And by the new Volkswagen Jetta.
I've stopped balls from the best players in the world. But in my 20 years in goal, I've never seen a ball do this. This shoe sucks.
Are you a soccer fan? Then get the edge on the sport you love. Read Soccer America. Don't miss any weekly soccer news. U.S. national teams, international, scoreboard, profiles, pros, college. Soccer America delivers total soccer coverage every week. Call 1-800-335-GOAL toll-free to take advantage of this special offer. 21 weeks of Soccer America, just $19.94. Call 1-800-335-GOAL now.
TSI brings you world-class soccer equipment. Adidas, Umbro, Puma, and many more. It's exciting, and it's all in the TSI full-color soccer catalog, and it's free. Absolutely free. Don't miss out. Call now. 1-800-842-6679 for a free soccer catalog. Score with TSI. Receive your free soccer catalog from 10 Sock International. Call 1-800-842-6679.
Never seen anyone do the things that you do. Never known anyone who could hold me like you. Hold me, hold me, hold me, hold me. You've got this hold.
When there's something that needs to be held, there's no faster, easier way than with a quick grip bar clamp. One hand holds things securely yet gently.
That's right, my love. Can't get free. You've got this hold on me.
It is our Championship Sunday preview show from Davidson, North Carolina. Welcome back. Dave Johnson along with my broadcast partner Desmond Armstrong. Let's take a look back at the semifinals on Friday. The Virginia Cavaliers advanced to today's final, a 2-1 win over Rutgers, but the Rutgers Scarlet Knights very well could have been in this final this afternoon.
Yeah, they had their chances, but they weren't able to capitalize on all the opportunities they provided for themselves.
Again, the final score in that contest was Virginia Cavaliers defeating the Rutgers Scarlet Knights 2-1, but it was a very entertaining match and a very close game, as we said, that Rutgers could have come up with. Let's take a look back at Friday's first semifinal between Virginia and Rutgers. Bob Riasso, the head coach of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, hoping to pull the upset this afternoon against Virginia. The Cavaliers, of course, coached by head coach Bruce Arena. And Davidson becoming a bit of a home field for the Cavaliers, going after their 4th straight title, maybe. Now, early on, Rutgers tries to spoil it. Andreas Meyer with the corner. Kevin O'Connell gets there. It's in the net. 9-minute mark of the first half. 1-0. You look at what Mark Peters was facing. Cannot get to it. 1-0 the score. But
the following is a presentation of TKR Cable of Northern Kentucky.
In 1986 and 1987, the Boone County Rebels came to Cardinal Stadium hoping to win the Class 4A state championship. In 87, with Rebel running back John Ransdell having an off day, fullback John Smith provided the Boone County scoring punch. But it wasn't enough as the Rebels fell to Shelby County. In 1992, Boone made it back to the state championship game and battled Louisville St. Xavier to a scoreless tie until late in the 4th quarter when St. X kicked a field goal, and that was enough to beat Boone in a tough defensive struggle. So in the 1980s and so far the 90s, Cardinal Stadium has not been kind to the Boone County Rebels. But now in 1994, they hope to change that. Veteran coach Owen Houck brings in a team he believes is just as good as those 1987 and 92 Rebel teams, and a running back he says is the best he's ever coached at Boone. Sean Alexander and the Rebels hope to cap a perfect season with Boone County's first ever state championship.
And while the Boone County Rebels are 0-3 in state championship games, their opponent today has had a lot of success in state title games. The Louisville Trinity Shamrocks, or the Rocks for short, have won 11 state championships, tying them with Highlands for most in the state. Louisville Trinity is 11-1 overall in state championship games. Hi, everybody. Wes Wright along with Campbell County head coach Mark Getz in the press box overlooking Cardinal Stadium in Louisville. And Mark, your Camels had one of the best seasons in school history, maybe the best, but you came up against a buzzsaw in Boone County twice for the district championship and the regional championship. I'm counting on you to provide some wisdom and some insight. Nobody should know Boone County better than you do. If they are, they're probably down on the sidelines right now. Boone County scouting report, Louisville Trinity scouting report.
Boone County is of Sean Alexander, you know, but they're more than Sean Alexander. They're playing good defense now. Brian Maney's an awfully good back. They have a lot of things that they can do that can beat you, but they want to control the ball. Trinity, on the other hand, they're not a great offensive team, but they play great defense. And you're looking at a matchup of a great defensive team, what I consider a great offensive team in Boone County.
Mark, I know there are an awful lot of folks in northern Kentucky rooting for Boone County and for the Rebels so that they can win a state championship game, not just for themselves, but for veteran head coach Owen Houck, who has worked so hard to build Boone County into a powerhouse in 4A. And as solid as the Boone County program is, it's hard to believe they're 0-3, and there are a lot of people rooting for Boone County to bring home its first ever state championship.
They sure are. Boone County, though, you know, to get here is the goal. To win is another step, and they keep getting here. You know, today this might be the best Boone County team I've seen, and I think this is their best chance of winning of all the times they've been down here.
All right, during this Class 4A state championship game, Don Weber will be filing reports from down on the sidelines. Don?
Thanks, Wes. As we approach this 4A championship game, weather conditions right now, a light mist falling, a light drizzle really. If it stays like this, it won't be a problem. However, if it gets heavier, who knows what's going to happen. You know, you look at this ball game, Boone County has come so close to winning state championships, and it's really hard to believe they have not won a state championship in the history of the school. In fact, since 1986, they've been eliminated by the eventual 4A state champion every year in the playoffs. And of course, Coach Owen Houck, veteran head coach, and everybody from northern Kentucky, I think, pretty much hoping that he can do it, that Boone County can do it, especially for him. Trinity, on the other hand, 11 state championships. They're tied with Highlands for 11 as far as the all-time total state champions for a high school in the state of Kentucky. You look at this ball game, and it's no mystery for Boone County, Sean Alexander. Nobody's really been able to stop him all year, and quite honestly, if Trinity doesn't stop him, I think Boone County will win the 4A title. If they don't, then Boone's going to have to look at possibly a Brian Maney, going to have to pick up the slack because, as everyone knows, they don't have really a solid passing game. A lot of anticipation. Interesting to note, appears to be more people from northern Kentucky in the stands than there are from the Louisville area here at Cardinal Stadium. It should be a good one. Team's about ready to take the field. Back to you, Wes.
Interesting observation, Don. A lot of Covington Catholic fans hanging around from the Class 3A state championship game to root on Boone County as well, so there's a big crowd on our side of the field. On the opposite side of the field, you would expect that there would be a big crowd from Louisville Trinity. Actually, it's not as big as you might expect. Mark, about 2 minutes to go before kickoff. The first two games that we've covered in our triple header so far, Class A game yesterday where Beechwood won on the curious, controversial last play of the game, and the Covington Catholic come from behind win in the state championship game, Class 3A state championship game here earlier today. They're going to be hard to top, but last play of the Beechwood game yesterday proves you never know what to expect. We'll find out what the Class 4A state championship game holds. We'll kick it off in 2 minutes from right now.
Here for a minute. Are you still waiting for the best time to buy? It's Smatter Cheese. Get the Montgomery Chevrolet, the Big M on Preston. Get yourself a 95 Camaro, just $299 down and $299 a month. That's with air, cruise, power steering, and brakes. Or a 95 Chevy S10, just $299 down and $199 a month. That's with air, power steering, and more. Come on over, save a whole bunch of money. Impress Mom and M's when you come over for dinner. That's the Big M on Preston, Montgomery Chevrolet. Appreciate it.
Have you visited Louisville's leader for sports cards and comics? If not, slide into Squeeze Play. You can't afford to miss Squeeze Play's extensive line of hobby merchandise and supplies. And while you're there, check out Squeeze Play's massive comics section with hundreds of new releases every Wednesday. Squeeze Play leads the way in comics and sports cards. Squeeze Play now with 4 Louisville area locations: Westport Road, Taylorsville Road, Preston at Indian Trail, and Dixie Manor.
I just decided that I needed to go back to work because we needed a second income because one just wasn't making it anymore. It was a 6-month course, in and out, with 2 weeks in between. Each quarter's about 3 months, and it was great. I loved going back to school. I loved it. I got a job before I even had my finals. I had my job last Thursday, and I just got finished with finals yesterday. The teachers are very caring. They really do care about you. If you got a problem, all you have to do is go to them, and if they can't help you, they'll find somebody who can.
Speak louder than words. Well, this is my way of shouting.
Let flowers do the talking. Call or visit Nan's & Craft today.
Back at Cardinal Stadium in Louisville for the Class 4A state championship game between the Rocks and the Rebels, as they are described on the scoreboard. The Shamrocks of Louisville Trinity at 10-4, and the Boone County Rebels at 14-0, trying to cap up a perfect season with a state championship game. The coin toss about to take place in the middle of the field. And Mark, we should note that the 10-4 record for Louisville Trinity is a little bit deceiving. They had a losing streak in the middle of their regular season, losing to St. Xavier, Louisville Central, Indianapolis Ben Davis, and Louisville Eastern. But I understand that their quarterback, number 14, Chris Cash, was injured for part, if not all, of that losing streak, so it's a deceiving 10-4 record.
Right, and those 4 teams they got beat by are awfully good football teams also. Ben Davis, one of the top programs in the country.
The Rebels take the field as the coin toss is completed at midfield, and it looks like the referees are signaling that Louisville Trinity has won the toss and elected to receive, or did Boone County win and defer?
I think Boone won and deferred, Wes.
In any case, Louisville Trinity will get the football first, as the Rebels and veteran head coach Owen Houck take the field. You expect a large roster, Mark, in Class 4A schools, but a couple of times when we've covered Louisville Trinity in the late 80s when they came up to play Boone County in Florence in the playoffs, they're almost military-like in their appearance. They've got a pregame, they're like very precise as they go through their pregame warm-ups out in the field.
Right. I talked with Dennis Lampley a couple years ago about how he does things. He will go around to where they're going to play and videotape where they're going to dress and things like that before, so he can show his team everything about it before they get to a place.
And we'll check out the starting offense for the Trinity Shamrocks. There's their offensive line. And the quarterback is number 14, Chris Cash. He has 527 yards passing and 5 touchdowns on the year. The leading rusher, for the leading ground gainer for Louisville Trinity, is the fullback, number 25, Corey Taylor.
Two teams with an awful lot of tradition playing out here today, Wes. This is, Trinity's won all those state championships. Boone, again, one of the better programs in the state, even though they haven't won a state championship.
And the Rebels take the field. Number 5, Aaron Bird, will tee it up at the 40-yard line. Sean Johnson, number 36, back deep to receive for Louisville Trinity. That's the player that they want to return the ball. Phil Edge and Alex Ingram also back there for the Shamrocks. They are coached by Dennis Lampley, He has won 4 of the 11 state championships the Louisville Trinity has won over the years. Lampley, 137 and 21 in his career, all at Louisville Trinity. That's quite a winning percentage.
Yes, sir. They every senior class in the last, I think it's 25 years, has won at least one state championship while they've been at Trinity. This is the last chance for this group of seniors.
And the Boone County Rebel fans, backed by the Covington Catholic fans who stayed over from the Class 3A state championship game, a 24-21 win for Covington Catholic, are urging on the Boone County Rebels, making some noise even before the kickoff. And Aaron Bird kicks it off. And Sean Johnson gathers it in for Louisville Trinity, comes to the near side, he's into the clear, 30, 40, 50. One player to beat. Chris Williams will not catch him. And on the opening kickoff, Sean Johnson puts Louisville Trinity on the board with a long kickoff return for a touchdown.
They ran a sideline return, Wes, and it's called a double out, double in, where they double team going in, they'll double team somebody out. You can see it here. Should be able to see 2 double teams. One will kick in and one will kick out. If you get those blocks, you just have the kicker to beat. There it is.
Mark, this is a 90-yard kickoff return. He started at the 10-yard line. And the Trinity kicker is not on our spotting sheet and not on the roster.
And the attempt is good.
But he converts anyway. So just 13 seconds into the game, the Trinity Shamrocks have the Boone County Rebels back on their heels.
Great execution on the kickoff return, just beautiful execution.
And you could see it developing by the time Johnson was down to his 30-yard line here on the near side. What developed there? Was it a wall of blocking, or did Johnson do that all on his own?
No, it was great blocking. And I'll tell you, Boone is playing their top line guys on kickoff coverage also. It's just great execution when you can get it. They number people, and then everybody knows who they have to go. You just have to make those blocks. It's a beautiful play. Now, Boone's been down before in the first quarter, as I know, and so it doesn't bother them as much. They'll just, they're an experienced football team, they're experienced coaching staff.
But it's not an experience that they've had a lot this year. You had them down early in the first quarter of the playoff game 2 weeks ago, the regional championship game, but they really haven't had this feeling a lot this year.
Right. One thing Coach Hawk will tell you, they cannot get too far behind a team because they're not the type of offense that can come back. He knows that. We all know that. So they have to stay. They have to get something going here.
Because Boone County relies so heavily on the ground game, they are indeed not a comeback team, and that is something that Owen Houck admits, and admits freely.
Something we would never kick the ball to Sean Alexander,
Team started to avoid that by late in the year, and number 44, Billy Wright, kicks it off, and Alexander gathers it in at the 10, and he is tackled at the 21-yard line.
Alex Stiebling made the tackle for Trinity. He came underneath. They ran a wedge return through the middle, and Alex came underneath the wedge to make a pretty good tackle.
So Boone County begins 1st and 10 at its own 22-yard line. There's the Boone County starting line, one of the bigger starting lines that Owen Houck has had to work with in his 21 years at Boone County. And the give is to Sean Alexander, running to his right side, gets to the 25 and struggles to the 26-yard line.
It's a play they start out most of their games with is the off-tackle play where they'll block down and kick out and pull the backside guard through.
4 yards, 2nd and 6.
Brian Roby, number 28, made the tackle. Of course, Sean Alexander anchors the Boone County backfield. The quarterback, Mitch Owings, passes very sparingly. Brian Maney, the fullback, who does a terrific job blocking, has done all season long for Sean Alexander and the Boone County Rebels. And Alexander takes the hand here, gets past the 25 to the 26, the 27-yard line. Brian Roby, one of the 2 safeties that Louisville Trinity will play, was in on the tackle again.
If you watch Trinity's front line, their defensive tackles, they're almost playing what we call a goal line technique, where they just crawl and try to make penetrations and stay low so they don't get driven back. And what that does, it helps the linebackers scrape freely so they can get a clean shot at the tailback.
Is at the Boone County 27-yard line.
And there's the Trinity defensive line. Some of those players will drop back and play almost in a linebacker position. It is 3rd down and 5 on the 27-yard line. And the give for the 3rd straight time is to Sean Alexander. He gets past the 30 to the 31-yard line, but he's going to come up about a yard shy of a 1st down, and no hesitation on the part of Boone County head coach Owen Houck. He sends in the punting unit.
You know, Boone had some holes there, but Trinity's really quick getting off the blocks. They really run to the ball pretty well.
We took a look at the Trinity defensive line a second ago, where they're really strong. It seems Mark is in the linebackers and in the secondary. Reggie White is listed as a halfback, but you say he plays a lot as a linebacker.
Right. He'll play as
and
an
the safeties
linebacker.
Are strong as well.
Right.
Back to punt, number 5, Aaron Bird.
Aaron Bird with the line of scrimmage, the 31-yard line. And the Trinity return. 2 flags on the play, a couple clips. Jeff Ralston, number 19 on the return.
Right. They tried to get a sideline return going, and it was pretty clear-cut clip over there. Just a kid hustling, you know, and just through the block he probably should have laid off of.
And there's the signal from referee Richard Morse heading the officiating crew. The umpire is Russell Morse. The linesman is Mike Thomas. Line judge Mike Herron. The back judge is Andy Strain.
15-yard penalty.
Trinity is a veer team, Wes, and what that means is they like to double team and leave 1 or 2 men unblocked and then option off them with a dive and with the quarterback running a pitch. They run a lot of twins also, 2 wide receivers to one side.
Right, and Jeff Ralston and Jeff Palmquist will be the favorite targets of the quarterback, Chris Cash.
Starting out in the strong backfield, much like Boone County runs.
Report to the press box.
And the hand is to Sean Johnson deep in the backfield.
By number 36, Sean Johnson.
Kind of surprised to see Trinity come out in that 2 tight ends, 3 back set and try to power Boone.
5 yards on the play, 2nd and 5.
Johnson picks up 5 to the 28-yard line. 2nd down and 5. Johnson tries to leap over the line of scrimmage, gets past the 30 to the 31-yard line.
Another thing that Trinity does offensively is they'll come right up to the line and they go immediately. Boone County flip-flops their defensive personnel, and so Trinity will try to hustle and get them so they're not set. You can see, watch how fast Trinity comes up to the ball and goes.
3rd down and a long 2 for Louisville Trinity. They lead it 7-0, and a loose football, and the Rebels say they have it. What is the official ruling? And the official signal that Louisville Trinity will keep possession.
Just fumbled the snap. He pulled out a little bit quickly, and ball was late. You can see it here. Quarterback's pulling out, center's a little bit late snapping.
Chris Cash never did get the handle on the football. So Trinity will have to punt.
Also number 12, Chris Williams. Back to punt will be number 44.
And it'll be number 44, Billy Wright. Alexander and Williams back to receive the punt, and it will go to Chris Williams, number 12, and he is hit as he tried to field the punt. And what's the call here? It's Louisville Trinity football at the 30-yard line.
This is pretty close to interference, as we see on the replay there. You have to give the receiver a chance to catch the ball is the ruling. And I'm not sure he had, trying to be as objective as I can, I'm not sure he had a chance to.
And there is a discussion going on. The officials are talking it over, and they are going to stick by their call. It is Louisville Trinity football as Jimbo Schaefer, number 99, made the hit.
You can see it again. He's not given a chance to catch the ball, and he must be given that chance.
Or maybe it was Schaefer who made the recovery. Halfback Phil Edge picks up a couple.
Brian Maney's close in there making the play. You'll see Brian Maney and Billy Ingram, probably their 2 best defensive players. Billy Ingram's a great football player, number 40.
They're saying Edge lost a yard on the play at the 32-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 12. And Cash shoots for the sidelines. That is complete. Number 19, Jeff Ralston, the leading receiver for the Rocks.
It's one of the things that Boone will give you on the short side of the field. They'll give you the quick hitch and the quick out like that. You just hope that you can get the ball. Offensively, you got to hope you can get the ball there before Maney, who plays on the weak side, can get there.
24-yard line for his 3rd and 4.
7 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Louisville Trinity 7, Boone County nothing. Cash, play fake, back to throw. Floats a pass to the end zone. It is almost intercepted. Chris Williams got a hand on the football for Boone County, but it falls incomplete.
Nice play by Chris Williams. Now, against Boone County's 2-deep zone, they've a little bit soft in the middle of the passing game, and you saw a receiver from Trinity coming through the middle. That's not who the quarterback elected to go to. But most teams in the passing game, here you can see the play by Chris Williams. The receiver did a real good job of making sure he wasn't able to intercept that.
And Ralston was the receiver in the end zone, and they are going to try a field goal with the line of scrimmage, the 24-yard line. They'll put it down at the 31, a 41-yard field goal try by number 16, Rob Baronis.
Seems to be kicking into the wind also.
And that kick will be way short. Falls between the double L's in the end zone, and so the score remains Louisville Trinity 7, Boone County nothing. Hate to use a cliche here, but the Rebels dodge a bullet. Let's see what Don Weber has for us down on the sidelines. Don?
West Boone County dodging a bullet there. Boone County sideline very upset on that call, what they called a fumble. They felt that the man didn't have enough time or wasn't given a chance to catch the ball, as the rule states. So, but luckily it doesn't matter. Trinity missed the field goal. Back to the booth.
And with the line of scrimmage, the 24, Sean Alexander up to the 30-yard line. And the line of scrimmage is the 20. Boone County got the ball back at the 20-yard line after the missed field goal.
Looks like he picked up enough for a first down. Again, what they call slam-o, where they block down and kick out, and the backside guard will pull through.
Question, what is that? What happens after a missed field goal attempt? The line of scrimmage before the field goal was the 24.
If it goes into the end zone, it's a touchback. That's a little different than the pro rule.
That's what puts it at the 20-yard line then. So a first down for Sean Alexander and the Boone County Rebels from the 30-yard line now. Alexander hops over the line of scrimmage and gets to the 35.
Alexander, number 37.
Billy Ingram's coming up hurt.
By number 36, Sean Johnson.
Yeah, they don't list him as a starter, but Billy Ingram does get a lot of action at fullback.
Right, fullback and power back. Now, they cannot lose Billy on defense. That really puts them in a bind. He is one of the key ingredients of their defense.
Yeah, number 40, Billy Ingram, hobbling to the sidelines.
And number 12, Chris Williams, is being treated on the sideline also, defensive back.
And Alexander to the 40, to the 45, dragged down by Sean Johnson.
Number 37.
Same play they've been running, Wes. Off tackle play with the lead guard coming through.
11 yards, good for the first down.
There's no secret with Coach Halcomb what they want to do, and you got to give them a lot of credit. They just go right at you.
First down, Boone County at the 46-yard line.
Boone County's unbalanced. They have 4 linemen on the left side.
And a couple of Trinity Shamrock defenders got into the backfield almost before Sean Alexander got the handoff. That'll be a loss.
Number 30, Reggie White, and number 36, Sean Johnson. No gain on the play.
Again, the Boone County doctors working on Billy Ingram, number 40, on the sidelines. We will be checking on that, and Don Weber will be getting some information for us on the injury. And again, as Mark said, if he can't come out and play linebacker, that would be a bigger loss for Boone County than losing him probably as a fullback. Alexander on second down gets back to the line of scrimmage, the first down line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Right. Trinity's defensive line's doing an excellent job. What they're doing is just they're keeping everybody off the linebackers. They're drawing double teams from Boone County's offensive line, and not many people are getting on the linebacker, as you can see.
Mark, they're just going to, I thought they were heading to the locker room with Billy Ingram, but they're just going to have him walk it off. They're pacing back and forth in back of the Boone County bench.
Wes, he's a really tough kid. He got my vote for Defensive Player of the Year in Northern Kentucky. He's a great player.
Third down on the 46-yard line. The pitch to Sean Alexander to midfield, but about 6 yards shy of what they needed for a first down.
Billy's running back on for the punt team.
Yep. There you see Billy Ingram coming back onto the field, number 40.
Chris Williams is back in also. It wasn't a bad offensive series for Boone. They were able to do some things. They're going to have to come up with some way to get their linemen on the linebackers. Trinity's defensive line is just doing a great job freeing up the linebackers.
Also deep, number 19, Jeff Ralston.
Line of scrimmage, the 49-yard line, as Bird gets a little pressure, kicks the ball away. And a good return by Phil Edge, number 20.
The punt was a little short, and Chris Williams was running down the field, and he almost outran the punt a little bit. Normally you want to break down 5 yards in front of where the ball's caught. Pretty good field position for Trinity.
So Louisville Trinity takes over. First down and 10 at their own 39-yard line. 3:40 left to play in the first quarter. The Rocks on top of the Rebels 7-0. 2 wideouts. Cash finds his first one covered, goes over the middle to a wide open receiver to the 35-yard line.
We were talking about this earlier, Wes, about the middle of the field versus Boone County, the way they play their 2 deep zone, or anybody playing their 2 deep zone. If you can get somebody in the middle of the field like that, and the quarterback gets some time, and you can see here, you can get some plays.
Catch was by Jeff Palmquist to the 35. First down, and hit hard at the line of scrimmage was Phil Edge.
Second time they've run the counter like that, counter tray. Didn't get much out of it.
Ingram getting up slowly. He was the last one to get up for Boone County.
36-yard line.
Second down on the 36-yard line. And Cash back to throw over the middle again, and the pass is incomplete. He had Rob D'Alessio open over the middle.
It seems that that's what they want to do. Is they tried to wide on the first pass play. They threw the ball to the sideline. They try to get their safeties to come off the hashes, and that opens up the middle of the field a little bit more here. Boone, through the year, Boone has been playing a lot of man under coverage on this third and long situations, much like Bowling Green was playing against Covington Kellick in the 3A game.
3rd and 10. Boone defense looking for a big play. They float a pass over the middle to D'Alessio. That's a first down and more. That'll be first and goal at the 6-yard line.
Nice play. Here you can see they fake the dive, and it's the tight end coming over the middle. It's awfully tough. Boone's got a couple problems right now. One is they're not getting set quick enough, and Trinity's getting them with a quick count. And number 2 is nobody's hitting the tight end or hitting anybody to keep them from coming over the middle.
Was that the same play twice in a row? They saw D'Alessio so wide open on the play before they did it again?
I don't know. Earlier, he came from a wider position.
Corey Taylor got down to the 1-yard line, so it'll be second and goal at the 1 with 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Backs are widely split behind Cash. And what's the signal? At the goal line, a touchdown for Chris Cash. And Trinity goes on top 13-0.
Here you can see Cash coming down the line. He fakes to the dive. He's coming off on the triple with the outside veer. It goes back to the couple ways to defend the option. Somebody has to take the dive, somebody has to take quarterback, somebody has to take the pitch.
Attempting number 16, Rob Baronis, holding number 85, Andrew A.B.
Rob Baronis to tack on the extra point. And it is good.
The attempt is good. The score reads Trinity 14.
So if you thought Boone County should be favored by a few or perhaps heavily favored because the Rebels were 14-0 and the Trinity Shamrocks were 10-4 coming into this game, think again. And we mentioned early on, Mark, that Boone County is not a come-from-behind team, and Owen Houck admits that. He's very upfront about that.
Defensively, they're going to have to get set much quicker. That's pretty simple. They have to get set. They like to flip-flop to the strength, and they're just not getting set quick enough. The other thing is they're going to have to come up with some way. Their linebackers are getting frozen, and they're going to be able to throw the ball in the middle of the field all afternoon unless somebody starts hitting somebody coming across there. The best way for Boone to get in sync offensively and defensively, especially defensively, is control the ball on this drive.
So Billy Wright will tee it up at the 40-yard line and kick it off for Trinity. Alexander, Chris Williams, and LeVar Herring, number 9, back there to return the kickoff. And this was Josh Hayes. Josh Hayes, number 27, returns it past the 30-yard line.
There's a flag also on it.
A 28-yard return.
And let's see it again.
You can see a nice wedge return through here. Now almost 36 comes over and hits it pretty hard. He might be able to break it outside and go. Caught a face mask penalty also on the tackle on Trinity. Boone's going to start out with great field position.
So the 15-yard penalty moves the ball up to midfield. And there's the call by referee Richard Morse.
They have Alexander at the wing here. They like to run the isolations.
That's Alexander in motion.
There it is.
And the give is to Brian Maney. An 8-yard pickup to the 42-yard line.
Brian's helped their offense a ton by being able to run that lead play up in there where they can isolate on one of the inside linebackers. It takes a lot of pressure off Sean.
Now Louisville Trinity, if they've looked at film from certain games this year, they've seen that. They've seen Boone County put Sean Alexander in different positions, just change of pace, throw the defense a curve, I guess.
I think that, and they know they've exchanged 2 tapes with each other, and I know they ran the isolation with Brian against us till the cows came home, and I would imagine they'll keep running that.
And they did that like in the third quarter when they really when your defense really started stuffing Sean Alexander.
Well, and a lot of teams will take the same idea. We're going to let him run up in the middle there, but we just felt like we couldn't let Sean run wide and bounce outside where he could score long touchdown runs. We wanted him to work for everything they got, and they did. Give them a lot of credit.
So after the timeout, Boone County looks at 2nd down and 2 with a minute left in the first quarter. The Rebels trailing at 14-0. Backs in an eye behind Mitch Owings. And the give is to Brian Maney. Running out of the deep position in the eye. He's got the first down. He is to the 31-yard line.
What you can see, Wes, is Trinity is playing their defensive tackles outside shoulder of the guards, and that leaves a natural gap in the middle there, and they're taking a fullback and leading him up on there. They're just attacking what Trinity gives them.
31-yard line.
You saw the big hole there in the replay that Brian Maney had. He is running deep in the eye here as they put Sean Alexander on the wing.
Now Trinity's changed up their defense a little bit here.
Now Alexander moves out almost like a wide receiver as Maney gets the handoff and hits inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
They're mixing it up. Sometimes they're playing inside the guards, taking away that isolation. Other times they're giving them the isolation. It's just a guessing game a little bit.
20 seconds left in the first quarter. Boone County may get a playoff here. Should be the last one of the first quarter. Sean Alexander right up the middle to the 27-yard line. And so when we begin the second quarter, it'll be 3rd down and 6 for Boone County as the Rebels putting together so far their best drive of the game. Of course, they got a big break when they got a face mask penalty and got the ball in good field position on this drive beginning at midfield. So with the score, Trinity 14, Boone County nothing. We'll take a break, come back with the second quarter after this.
Imagine her delight in a luxurious fur from Louisville's #1 furrier, Kleinman Furs. And now, during our holiday sale, take advantage of great savings on our entire inventory of new furs and leathers. No nonsense pricing and 3 generations of expertise make Kleinman's the obvious choice. Kleinman's Furs, since 1919. Open 7 days a week for your holiday shopping convenience.
At Greg Coats Cars and Trucks, we won't drop the ball. Come in now and we'll draw up a game plan with monthly payments that are too good to pass up.
That's right, Tammy, like these 92 Tauruses with full power as low as $129 a month, or sporty Geo Tracker convertible starting at just $149 a month, or 91 Lincoln Town Cars with carriage roof loaded for as little as $229 a month.
At Greg Coats Cars and Trucks, we're tackling high prices head on. You can afford it. Yes, you can. At Greg Coats Cars and Trucks.
And before we begin the second quarter, let us check in with Don Weber, injury report on Billy Ingram. Don.
Things not working out well for Boone County in the first quarter, and to add insult to injury, Billy Ingram is suffered a sprained knee. They're wrapping it now, so he's probably going to be out for the game. Back to you, Wes.
And on the 3rd down and 6, Sean Alexander is stopped at the 25-yard line.
It'd be tough to keep Billy out of the lineup if Billy has anything to do with it, to be honest with you. I see him down there walking around. He's going. I know he wants back in this game.
25-yard line where it's 4th and 4.
He's trying to walk it off, trying to hop it off. Fourth down and 4. Boone County on the 25-yard line. Owings back to throw. Floats a pass toward Ben Brown, incomplete in the end zone. Intended receiver was the sophomore Ben Brown, Boone County's leading receiver, but to show you how sparingly Boone County has thrown this year, their leading receiver has 13 catches.
Billy's going back out.
Nope. And quarterback will be number 14, Chris Hedge.
So the score remains 14-0. Boone County trailing Louisville Trinity as the Rocks take over at the 25-yard line. And the hand goes to the fullback, Corey Taylor.
Carried by Corey Taylor, number 25. The tackle by number 45.
They brought the flanker in motion and ran the trap back against where he was coming through there. They've got a pretty diverse offense. Trinity does. They can do a lot of things.
Ball at the Trinity 34-yard line.
Mark, from seeing this team so far in the first quarter and a couple minutes of the second quarter, it's hard to figure out how they lost 4 games.
Well, missing their quarterback looks like it made a big difference.
2nd and 1. Cash hits Ralston. Ralston goes out of bounds at the 41-42 line. That's a Louisville Trinity first down.
Keeping them a little bit off balance. It's mixing it up.
Tackle was by number 22, Brian Meany.
Here you can see it's quick screen off the lead fake.
Gain of 8 yards, first down.
Makes a nice move on number 12, Chris Williams, and makes a nice game.
They spot the ball at the 42-yard line. First down for Louisville Trinity. Cash hands the ball deep in the eye
Ball carried by number 20,
to Phil Edge. And that's a short game.
Right, it's the 3rd time they've run the counter tray, and on the counter tray, the quarterback comes out going one direction. Backside guard and tackle will come around. One will trap and one will lead through.
No gain on the play.
Seems to be the play they want to go to the most.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. With 9:45 left in the first half, Louisville Trinity with the lead and the football. They lead it 14-0. On the quick snap, they hand the ball to Corey Taylor. Bounces off a couple of hits before he is hit down for good at the 41-yard line.
Came back with the trap that they ran the first play, I think, of this series, and Boone played it much better. You have to recognize the trap is the biggest thing, and once you recognize it, squeeze the hole down and then let the linebacker fill.
Who was back in the lineup for that game, but Billy Ingram, he's back on the sidelines now, so they're at least getting him in sometimes. Spot starts basically on defense as Cash back to throw. And he is sacked by the defensive end, the sophomore, number 88, Ben Brown, and it'll be 4th down.
It's also a late flag being thrown out here at the 48-yard line. Here you can see Boone's in man under coverage again. Pretty good pressure, so he has to pull the ball down. And Ben comes off the block. They put Ben in on passing situations because he's got great quickness. He can come off the corner pretty hard and beat the tackle on the pass block.
There was a penalty on the play.
And the personal foul is against Louisville Trinity. So that was thrown in the Boone County defensive backfield, but the foul is on Louisville Trinity.
That's a dead ball foul, so it's still 4th down.
Your attention, please, Christopher Tyner. Please report to the press
Yeah, the scoreboard says 3rd down, but this should be 4th.
Please report to the press board gate. Once again, that's Christopher Tyner.
And they put the ball back on the 23-yard line, so it's going to be 4th and a quarter mile. 4th and 29 for Trinity. And Billy Wright, number 44, back to punt. Alexander and Williams, I think, back to receive. That is Sean Alexander. And they kick it to Williams, or at least to his side, and he gathers it in at the 30, hands to Alexander, but he does not have much blocking there. Alexander taken down at the 33-yard line.
Great coverage by Trinity special teams.
A 47-yard punt and a return of 4.
The first quarter, Boone was not able to establish Sean Alexander. Here they run the reverse on the punt return.
At their own 34-yard line.
Again, Trinity pretty disciplined and staying home.
Jimbo Schaefer, number 99. Williams could not get away from him. About just shy of the 34-yard line. 1st down, Boone County. Alexander comes in motion, gets the handoff to the 35 to the 36-yard line. Boone County certainly sticking with its game plan.
Sure, and they should. That's what they do best. But Sean needs to establish himself here. And he never hits the hole as hard as people think he should, because that's not the way their offense is set up. They're set up so that their big lineman can push around. When he sees a gap, he'll go through it then. Trinity playing really good defense.
37-yard line, where it's 2nd and 7.
2nd down and 7, Boone County. Ball at the 36. And the handoff there to Maney.
Ball carried by number 22.
He comes up shy of the 40-yard line, and a 3rd down play coming up for Boone County with 7:25 left in the 2nd quarter.
Gain of 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 4. All at the Boone County 40-yard line.
Boone County sends a wide receiver to the far side. You don't see that much. That is Ben Brown, number 88. Backs in an eye behind Owings, and Alexander gets the pitch. Running right. He's got a hole at the line of scrimmage. Gets the 1st down to the 45 to the 48-yard line.
They like to run the sweep out of that formation. They also run a halfback pass out of that. Here you can see everybody's reaching the backside guard, pulling in, and Sean again. He sees daylight, and he runs to it.
Gain of 8 yards.
Breaks a couple tackles. He's a lot stronger than people think also.
At their own 48-yard line.
So a 1st down, Boone County. They are in their own territory at the 48.
Boone flip-flops their offensive linemen also. They have the strong side to the right now, what they call the quick side to the left.
And the give is to Brian Maney, who does a half somersault to gain a yard.
Ball carried by number 22.
Number 36 for Trinity, Sean Johnson. He's quite a player from what I've seen so far here. He runs pretty well. He's pretty tall, 6'3", 190. He came and stepped up pretty hard there.
Ball at the Boone County 49-yard line.
2nd and 9, Boone County, just shy of midfield. Alexander comes in motion. There's a fake to Alexander and a bobbled pass out of bounds and incomplete. Brian Maney, the intended receiver, and he would have been in the neighborhood of a 1st down had he held on to it.
Here you can see they fake to Sean off tackle. Mitch sets up. He throws a nice ball here. Brian might just take his eye off just a little bit at the last second, doesn't pull it in.
3rd and 9.
So 3rd and 9. Big play coming up if Boone County wants to get on the board here in the first half. The Rebels trailing the Shamrocks 14-0. 3rd down and 9, Boone County. And Owings back to throw. Alexander stays in there to block Ben Brown. Now he's going to have to do it on his own, and he hits to the 43-yard line, and that's going to come up shy. Let's see what happens here.
He fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
Number 75.
And if Boone County recovered, if the center, Buddy White, recovered this ball, that's a lucky bounce for Boone County and a first down.
Yeah. Hey, this is a great effort by number 88, Ben Brown. It's only a sophomore. They threw the tight end screen off that. He made a great effort.
So a break for Boone County, maybe the break that the Rebels needed here in the first half with 5:30 left in the first half. Owings hands the ball to Alexander. He gets an opening, gets into the secondary, does a dance inside the 30 to the 27-yard line.
He might have run out of his shoe there.
He was high-stepping there at the 30-yard line, and it was Sean Alexander against 3 defenders, and he thought he could make a move on him.
You know, everybody knows about Sean, but as you can see, all the blocking in front of him, and Brian Maney, their unsung hero, he does everything for him.
You saw it on the replay there. He did lose a shoe. It is nevertheless a Boone County first down at the 27-yard line, and there's an official equipment timeout on the field for Sean Alexander's shoe. Maybe he needs to get it repaired.
Yeah, I don't know if he broke a string or what on it, or a lace.
And is it an official rule, KHSAA rule, that if you have to take an equipment timeout, that you have to come out of the game for a play?
They'll stop the play if they just need, if you can fix it immediately. If you can't, then you need to come out.
Because Alexander did come out of the game for this play. As Brian Maney takes a hit and doesn't gain much.
Reggie White made the play. If you watch these Trinity linebackers, and what's going on here is Trinity's defensive linemen are really just drawing double teams from the offensive linemen of Boone County. And therefore, the linebackers are running free of Trinity, and they are excellent football players. They're meeting the fullback on the other side of the line of scrimmage and just stuffing that isolation play.
Should note that Scott Bryant is in there playing some fullback. Now he's out on a wing for Boone County, number 49, as Alexander gets the handoff, tries to find a hole up the middle or on the near hash mark, and gets inside the 25-yard line.
The tackle by number 30, Reggie White. Gain of 2 yards.
So a big 3rd down and 8 play coming up for Boone County. The ball just inside the 25-yard line. We have under 4 minutes left in the first half. Boone County trailing it here 14-0 as Mitch Owings brings the Rebels to the line of scrimmage, and they have 2 receivers to the far side. A heavy pressure by Owings, and he gets a pass off. It's bobbled and caught by Brian Maney, and he gets to the 16-yard line. That'll be a first down, Boone County.
Mitch Owings is down still. I'm hoping that he gets up there. There it is.
Yeah, the Boone County quarterback, Mitch Owings, is down out near the 42. Very slow getting up.
He opens up like he's going to throw to his left, and they're setting up the screen to Brian Maney. Get some people out in front of him, and then Brian makes a great catch.
What a throw under heavy pressure by a quarterback who really hasn't had to pass much this year.
Nice play.
Owings is moving slowly. Number 19, the Boone County quarterback, but he is up and back to the Boone County huddle. And with 3:33 left in the first half, we'll take a timeout. All right, while we were away on break, Sean Alexander took the ball and pounded it down to the 1-yard line for Boone County, so the Rebels now have a 1st and goal. 3 minutes left, first half, to give to Alexander, and that's a Boone County score.
They ran the same play twice in a row, Wes. They came out and ran the power left for the long gain, and then they ran again the same play for the touchdown to Alexander. You can see pretty good blocking. He gets up over the top.
So patience pays off for Boone County as the Rebels stay with their game plan. No sense of panic at all on the sidelines or on the field when they fell behind 14-0. And now, hey, they have cut that lead with Theron Bird's extra point. They have cut it in half. It is 14-7. Louisville Trinity leading Boone County, but the Rebels have grabbed some of the momentum now.
Big play in that drive.
And let us check in with Don Weber down on the sidelines. Don.
Thanks, Wes. You know, Boone County, a lot of long faces here on the sideline. Before that drive, you had the feeling it was almost desperation that Boone score before the half to get on the board and get some momentum and get some confidence. Sean Alexander seemingly coming out of his shell a little bit and getting some good yardage during that drive. Also, watch out for Brian Maney. I know he's had several good runs. So 14-7 Boone. We'll see what happens from here with 2:53 left in the first half. Back to the booth.
Mark, of course, we are doing this game for TKR Cable of Northern Kentucky, but the TKR viewers in Louisville will see this as well, and they have to be awfully proud of a team that is 10-4 and has made it to the state championship game.
I'm sure they are. It's great football being played in Louisville, always has been. Trinity has a lot of tradition, and they just sucked it up here at the last part through the playoffs to overcome a lot of things.
Sean Johnson, and you know what he did with the opening kickoff in this game. And he was to the 30-yard line and out of bounds on the far side.
Ran the same return as they did to open the game. Boone able to shed some blocks and get underneath the wall. The key play on that last drive for Boone County obviously was the screen pass to Brian Maney. He made a great catch and converted that third down play.
So Trinity now with 2:46 left in the first half. And the handoff goes to Corey Taylor. As Trinity begins the drive at their 29-yard line, Taylor gets to the 36. It'll be second down and 3.
This is amazing how fast they get up to the line and go. It's really causing Boone some problems.
Boone County defense still scrambling, not even set when the ball was snapped. Taylor for 2, it'll be 3rd and 1.
Nice play by Russell Carter there, stuffing the trap.
Let's watch the Boone County defense if we can here. As Trinity gets to the line of scrimmage, snaps the ball quickly before Boone County figures out what it wants to do defensively and how it wants to match up. There's a first down, Louisville Trinity.
I guess for people that haven't watched Boone play a whole lot, they flip-flop their defense. They have people that go to the strong side of the offense and people that go to the weak side of the offense. And they're reading that, but it's a little bit late as they flip-flop, and it's causing them some problems.
First down, quick snap again. Cash finds a receiver open over the middle. That is DeLessio again. They've hit him 3 times now. He's been wide open 3 times. They've hit him twice now, and he is down to the 25-yard line.
This is, again, he's just setting up and through the middle of that 2-deep zone. You know, he's just finding the hole. He seems like he knows what he's doing out there. He understands the coverage.
32 yards, first down.
And Louisville Trinity calls a timeout with 1:38 left in the first half. Mark, you said after they had that play a couple of times earlier, they missed him one time, and then they hit DeLessio when the quarterback Cash floated a pass to him over the middle. You said that play might be open for the rest of the day.
Well, and again,
how do you adjust to that?
Well, there's a couple things you can do. Your linebackers, you want them to get a little more depth. And I'll tell you, historically, Boone County's linebackers have gotten great depth. Maybe if they're running a little play action off it, it'll freeze those linebackers. But, you know, every defense has its liabilities. The 2 deep, you know, the middle of the field or along the sidelines, going up the sidelines is another thing. But the linebackers they have to get more depth and get underneath that route.
And just to clarify a point we were making earlier, Boone County calls, even on offense, calls its offensive linemen strong guards and strong tackles and strong and quick guards and quick tackles. And on defense, they do the same thing with their defensive linemen, and they see how Trinity lines up, and then a guard and a tackle may go from the right side to the left side, and And they just don't have much time to make that adjustment when Trinity goes to the line of scrimmage and snaps the ball quickly, like they're doing now. But Boone County does get set this time.
Right, and they're going with some motion. That helps Boone.
Cash looking for the near sideline. He's got a receiver at the goal line, and the pass is out of bounds and incomplete. The defender back there for Boone County was number 19, Mitch Owings.
They ran that quick screen off that same action earlier, only this time they went with the go route off of it. Boone County's pass defense is a 5 under, 2 deep, and so the 5 under men have to get more depth to take away that middle of the field, because sooner or later the safeties will come off the middle to try to help in the middle, I should say, and the wide and going down the sidelines will be open.
The intended receiver on that last play was number 22, Chris Nye, and the hand here is to Corey Taylor, and the Boone County defender Russell Carter, a linebacker, had him by the ankles and wasn't going to let go.
They ran the trap again. Russell Carter's a pretty good player. You know, he got hurt in the Henry Clay game, and he's one of their better defenders also. He's only a junior. He comes back next year. He plays some offense for him also.
So 3rd down and 8, Louisville Trinity. Ball at the 22-yard line with a minute left in the first half. Trinity with the lead, 14-7, and they're going to call an official's timeout. A Trinity player back there with an equipment problem.
In this situation, they like to put Sean Alexander in the game on the wide receiver and play man in the 3rd down. See if that's what they do. Yeah, they've gone to man cover here. Man under with two deep zone.
Cash with pressure. Ray Arnold almost got him. Now Cash fires it to the end zone, and it is knocked down, incomplete. Number 12, Chris Williams, thought he had a shot at an interception, and the intended receiver was behind him. He actually had a shot at an interception here.
He opens up looking to the right. Ray Arnold put heavy pressure on him, came through untouched. It's a nice play. Nice play. They keep those safeties back there as help for the guys playing man.
So a field goal try for Louisville Trinity. Put it down at the 29-yard line. The attempt is wide to the right. So Rob Barones had the distance, but not the accuracy, and the score remains Trinity 14, Boone County 7, with 36 seconds left in the first half.
Wes, you've watched Boone play enough. You know that as the game goes on, they seem to get stronger, and you know, stopping Trinity down here is going to be a big lift to them. They will get stronger. Trinity's playing great defense, though, just mixing it up offensively also. Doing a great job.
Now Trinity might be the deeper team, however, Mark. They have, looks like about 120 kids on their full roster, including sophomores and freshmen, but as Boone County will take a knee here and not do anything dangerous here in what's left of the first half. A couple players for Boone County do go both ways. Brian Maney plays offense and defense. Alexander will play some back in the secondary. So will that be a factor at all?
Well, I'm sure that Trinity's counting on that being a factor. Boone, though, and again, they don't two-platoon like they used to. They used to be strictly a two-platoon team. But they have gotten stronger against some pretty good teams throughout the year. And so at halftime, I'm sure they're going to regroup and say, well, we've played great second halves all year. Nothing's going to change now. Got to compliment Trinity's defense for that first half. They did a great job.
So the first half comes to an end. Louisville Trinity got off to the good start with the 90-yard kickoff return by Sean Johnson. They tacked on a 1-yard run by the quarterback Chris Cash before Boone County put together a solid drive midway through the second quarter, capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run by Sean Alexander. So your score at halftime is Trinity 14, Boone County 7. We will be back with more from Cardinal Stadium in Louisville in just a minute.
Why do we sell so many four-door sidekicks here at Perkins? Probably because of Suzuki's worldwide reputation for building quality products.
Why do I like my sidekick? Well, it's durable and it's fun.
Another factor is they're very fuel efficient.
I get great gas mileage with this baby, and it's fun.
Plus, they cost a lot less than most four-door, four-wheel drives on the market today.
The price on this compared to all the others, night and day.
And it's fun. I guess they really are fun to drive, too.
Have you visited Louisville's leader for sports cars and comics? If not, slide into Squeeze Play. You can't afford to miss Squeeze Play's extensive line of hobby merchandise and supplies. And while you're there, check out Squeeze Play's massive comics section with hundreds of new releases every Wednesday. Squeeze Play leads the way in comics and sports cards. Squeeze Play now with 4 Louisville area locations: Westport Road, Taylorsville Road, Preston at Indian Trail, and Dixie Manor.
In 3, 2, 1, cue 'em.
At TKR, we take our commitment to community service very seriously. Every year, we offer hundreds of people an outlet to provide their message to our viewers. We're also very proud of TKR Cable in the Classroom, where we offer free cable service to all area schools. TKR is committed to keeping you in touch with what is going on in your community. Why? Because at TKR, we never forget you're watching.
Mirror for a minute. Are you still waiting for the best time to buy? Smatter Choose. Get the Montgomery Chevrolet, the Big M on Preston. Get yourself a 95 Camaro, just $299 down and $299 a month. That's with air, cruise, power steering, and brakes. Or a 95 Chevy S10, just $299 down and $199 a month. That's with air, power steering, and more. Come on over, save a whole bunch of money. Impress Mom and M's when you come over for dinner. That's the Big M on Preston, Montgomery Chevrolet. Appreciate it.
Back at Cardinal Stadium in Louisville. A gray overcast day. And the Class 4A state championship game is at halftime. Trinity leading Boone County 14-7. Let's check in with Don Weber down on the sidelines. Don.
Thanks, Wes. We're here with a familiar face to Northern Kentucky high school football fans, and that's current Henderson County head football coach Tom Duffy, who, of course, won 2 state championships at Highlands High School. And, Tom, your ball club, you take over a team that was 1-9, go 12-1, and lost a close game to North Hardin after some bad luck. You had one terrific year down there your first season.
We did. It was exciting. The whole community was excited about it, and just great, and we had a lot of fun at it.
I was going to say, probably the big difference between Henderson County and maybe Northern Kentucky is the fact that Henderson County being really the only team in that whole county, whereas Northern Kentucky, you have so many schools in a small area.
That's the difference. You know, we're the only show in town, and you know, if you're going to go to school out there, you're going to go to Henderson County, and you got a lot of media coverage, obviously, radio coverage, TV coverage, and it's a neat situation. Great school, great community.
Of course, people remember your son, a good quarterback as a sophomore at Highlands, and unfortunately some bad luck in the last game. How's he doing right now?
He's fine. He's in a cast at home. Broke his leg in the second quarter, broke a bone in it, and finished the whole game for us. Showed a lot of guts to stay out there. Had a great year. Had 9 interceptions, and out of the secondary, made second team Associated Press All-State. So we were happy for him, and of course had a great job quarterback for us.
Did you keep a kind of track of seeing what Highlands did this year? Obviously they had a lot better year than a lot of people expected.
They did, no question about it. You know, the kid coming in from Cove Cash sure helped him a lot, I'm sure. But, you know, Dale's done a good job with him. And, it's going to take him a year or two, I'm sure, to get him back here. But they got an awful lot of tradition. So just like Cove Cath, they're always going to be around.
You got to be, I would imagine, looking forward to next season at Henderson County, because I think you've got a fair amount of those players back, correct?
Yeah, you know, everybody thought, you know, coming in last year, you know, we're a year away from being a pretty good football team. Had a lot of juniors and not too many seniors, so we were tickled to death with what happened. But you never know, you know. On paper, we're going to be pretty good, but to be better than 12-1 takes a little bit of luck.
As you look at this particular ball game we're watching right now, Trinity obviously getting off to that big that kickoff return, 14-7 Trinity at halftime. How do you see the second half?
You know, you can't spot the Rocks 14 points, especially at home. You know, this is their home turf. But, you know, it's a nice drive for Boone to get it down there and score. And, you know, they get the ball the second half. If they can at least get themselves some field position, if they can drive it down and get it in, they can take some tempo away from it. But they've got to stop the Rocks getting the ball over the middle. They're going over the top on them right now. If they can do something about that, they can win a football game.
You know, you're no stranger to state championships, but, you know, when you come into a game like this, I guess the biggest thing is to try not to approach it any differently than what the success that you had to get here during the season.
You know, you got to go with Alexander. He got you here. He's going to carry it. You can't change anything. You're sure not going to try and throw it now. But, you know, this is great advantage for Trinity playing here. You know, they play so many games here anyway. Their kids feel at home. You know, Boone here last year's got to be a help for them, but you know, they got a shot. If they can just do something with it here at the beginning of the second half, maybe they can win one. I hope so.
Okay, Tom, good luck to you. Congratulations on a good year. All right, Tom Duffy, head football coach at Henderson County High School and former Highlands head football coach. Back to you, Wes.
And the cheering you hear is for the Boone County Rebels, who have retaken the field here. We've a few minutes to go before we kick off the second half. Mark, we got some halftime statistics from the Kentucky High School Athletic Association. Sean Alexander, 87 yards rushing in the first half. Chris Cash for Louisville Trinity, 101 yards passing. Things seem to balance out here. Boone County beating Trinity in the rushing game, 112 yards to 33, but Trinity making it up in the passing department, 101 to 19. So things kind of balancing out. Boone County settled down there in the second quarter, didn't panic, stuck to its game plan, and cut the 14-0 lead in half.
Right, you know, and Sean has 87 yards rushing already, and most people are saying that's a bad half for him, but they're going to be fine now. I think they're back in the swing of things of what they want to do. Late in the second quarter, they determined, or were able to get in their kind of tempo. What they do have to stop is the tempo that Trinity has.
And the Louisville Trinity Shamrocks taking the field now for the second half. They have about 3 or 4 minutes to warm up for the second half. Mark, what's the key for Boone County to keep things on track for a possible comeback?
Well, there are a couple things they have to do. Offensively, they have to let Sean go ahead and do his thing. All right? And I know Brian's a good back, and they're going to keep running Brian inside and things like that. But they have to be able to establish him where they can get first down after first down after first down. Offensively, that's what they need to do. Defensively, they have to slow Trinity down coming off the ball. They're just getting Boone when they're not set, and that's hurting them. Secondly, they have to get some underneath coverage to stop over the middle.
When you think about it, if you take away one big play, maybe 2 big plays, certainly the kickoff return to start the game by Sean Johnson, 90-yard kickoff return that set Boone County back on its heels a little bit, and also the key play on the punt, where the Boone County player, I believe it was Chris Williams, from our point of view and from the point of view of a lot of folks sitting on this sideline, didn't have a whole lot of room to catch the punt, resulted in a Boone County fumble. Trinity got the ball back down near the 30-yard line. I believe they took it in for a score. I'm not 100% sure of that. Did Boone stop?
Boone stopped them, but you're right. It just, things weren't going Boone's way at the beginning, and it stayed that way after that also. They had the kickoff run back on him, and then what I thought was an obvious interference down here on the punt. And so it took them, it seemed like second quarter before they felt like they were in the swing of things.
And even if Boone County, even if Trinity did not take it in for a score, that still affected the game of field position. Certainly. And it became a game of field position for the rest of the second quarter now.
You're absolutely right. And
we will kick it off for the third quarter. The Class 4A state championship. Louisville Trinity leading Boone County 14-7. We'll be back with the kickoff in 2 minutes.
At Greg Coats Cars and Trucks, we won't drop the ball. Come in now and we'll draw up a game plan with monthly payments that are too good to pass up.
That's right, Tammy, like these 92 Tauruses with full power as low as $129 a month, or sporty Geo Tracker convertible starting at just $149 a month, or 91 Lincoln Town Cars with carriage roof loaded for as little as $229 a month.
At Greg Coats Cars and Trucks, we're tackling high prices head on.
You can afford it. Yes, you can. At Greg Coats Cars and Trucks.
Actions speak louder than words. Well, this is my way of shouting.
Let Manson Craft Florists turn your feelings into flowers. Call us today.
Imagine her delight in a luxurious fur from Louisville's #1 furrier, Kleinman Furs. And now, during our holiday sale, take advantage of great savings on our entire inventory of new furs and leathers. No-nonsense pricing and 3 generations of expertise make Kleinman's the obvious choice. Kleinman's Furs, since 1919, open 7 days a week for your holiday shopping convenience.
At TKR Cable, we're always searching for the fastest and most economical ways to bring the latest TV technologies to our customers. like interactive cable, where viewers can shop from home and even attend class at faraway universities, right from their own living room. And soon our customers will have access to hundreds of cable channels, with diverse and entertaining programming for everyone in the family. Why do we work so hard at TKR? Because at TKR, we never forget you are watching.
Back for the second half of the Class 4A state championship game between the Shamrocks of Louisville Trinity and the Rebels of Boone County. Trinity, as we told you at the outset, is 11-1 in state championship games. Doesn't get much better than that. And Boone County, unfortunately for its fans, Northern Kentucky high school football fans, is 0-3. Making it to the state championship game in 1986 and 1987 and 1992, I should say. And so the Rebels trying to win their first ever state championship, but it would not be the first for head coach Owen Houck. He won a state championship 30 years ago at Highlands High School in 1964. And so we kick off the second half, and it goes to Sean Alexander at the goal line. Alexander to the 20, to the 21-yard line. And Trinity does a good job of gang tackling on special teams. They get 4 special teams players and on Sean Alexander.
It's important they get something started here. You know, I think they, like I said, I believe they got back in the swing of things at the end of the second quarter and just need to continue on with that.
Mitch Owings leads the Rebels to the line of scrimmage. They have Scott Bryant on a wing, and they hand the ball to Alexander. He is hit at the 20-yard line. No gain.
They're just not being able to block those inside linebackers, Wes. Number 30, Reggie White, number 36, Sean Johnson. They have not been able to sustain a block on those two all afternoon.
It'll be second down and 10, just underway in the third quarter. Boone County trailing Louisville Trinity 14-7. Single setback is Maney. Alexander comes in motion and gets the handoff. They're trying to do some different things to create some blocking there on the left side for Sean Alexander, and it worked for 3 yards that time.
Right. The formation's different, but the point of attack was the same way. They're running basically power football there, and I wouldn't be surprised maybe to see them run some sweeps and things like that, and maybe try to outrun those inside linebackers soon.
So a third down, 3rd and 8 on the 23-yard line. Long count by Alexander, and they get a defender for Louisville Trinity to jump off sides. Jim Beauschafer, number 99. And when he jumps off sides at 6'3" and 244, you don't miss him.
You're right. You know it. Probably the first time today Boone's changed the snap count on him, and probably in a great time to do it. Nice call.
So the 5-yard penalty puts the ball at the 28-yard line and makes it a much easier call for Boone County at 3rd and about 2.5.
I expect Boone to run off tackle this side again. That's where they like to run into their bench. Everybody knows that also.
Everybody tight for Boone County. 2 tight ends on this play. And the hand to Sean Alexander. And he is hit and hit back by Reggie White, number 30.
Great football player, Reggie White.
Also 1 yard.
Playing about like his namesake today.
Never thought about it that way, but you're right.
Number 19, Bill Edge, and number 20.
I've been looking for a number 40 on the Boone County sideline, Wes, and I haven't seen him. Maybe I hope he's in there somewhere.
He is not in playing much at fullback, and I've been checking for him on defense as well. 4th and 4 for Boone County. Aaron Bird's punt rolls inside the 40, and Boone County downs it at the 37. There was a little murmur, or at least a cheer going on the Boone County sidelines. They thought maybe a Louisville Trinity player had touched the ball, but that is not the case. So the Rocks take over on their own 38-yard line with 9:26 left in the third quarter. Trinity with the lead, 14-7.
8-yard line. And quarterback number 14, Chris Cash.
And the junior quarterback, Chris Cash. Hands the ball off to Corey Taylor. He is into the secondary, into Boone County territory to the 42-yard line.
Well, quick hitter to the fullback right up the middle. Here you can see it. Just base blocking. Nobody trapping, nobody pulling, base blocking. Might have got him before they were set.
First and 10, Trinity. Well, they're snapping the ball quickly. And the fullback, Corey Taylor, goes to the 40-yard line.
The reason that you do flip-flop, and it makes some sense, is that you only have to teach one technique. In other words, a young man doesn't have to learn to play on the open side and on the tight end side. And that's the reason they do it. It cuts down on the coaching, and on the coaching part, and you get a lot more done and a better technique.
On the quick count, Cash hands the ball off. There is a flag in the backfield as Phil Edge hits down to near the 35-yard line.
I think that might be the flag that Boone's been wanting the whole afternoon also, as an illegal shift or an illegal procedure. Illegal shift is what it is. Trying to say that they're not set a full second before the ball snapped.
And so that is the signal from the referee, Richard Morse. And they'll march Trinity back to just outside right on the 45-yard line.
Illegal motion against Trinity. A penalty 5 yards.
And so that backs Trinity up to the 45, makes it second down and 13. 8:25 left, third quarter. Trinity leading Boone County in the Class 4A state championship game, 14-7. Cash to throw. And a near catch by Chris Nye, number 22, but the pass is incomplete.
Nice play. They had the tight end covered that time. They're trying to hit the tight end, releasing right through the middle, but the linebacker or somebody hit him, so they could not go to him right away. So then they came back to the wide out there. But when he came off there, he was looking for tight end through the middle, and they had hit him. And that's one of the ways to slow things down through there.
And so it'll be 3rd and 13. Clock is stopped, 8:11 left, third quarter.
Here's where they go to their man under zone with 2 deep safeties. Sean Alexander on the best receiver.
Well, Sean Alexander indeed in on defense on this play. On the far left side, on the near side, and a handoff deep in the backfield. Sean Johnson, and the draw play does not work.
Right. Great defense by Boone.
So gain on the play. And the 4th and 13.
And Billy Ingram was not in on that series.
45-yard line.
I don't know if he's still in the locker room or getting treated or what.
I don't see number 40 at all on the Boone County sidelines either.
Also being number 12.
So number 44, Billy Wright, will punt for Louisville Trinity. Chris Williams and Sean Alexander back inside their 15-yard line to return it. And Alexander will gather this one in at the 12, to the 20. To the 24-yard line and out of bounds on the far side.
Number 37, tackle by Jimbo Schaefer, number 99. A cut of 33 yards. And the return was for 12. And the Rebels take over first.
Great defensive series for Boone, I thought, that time.
24-yard line.
They hurt him with that real quick play to start the drive, but after that they settled down, played pretty good defense.
7:15 left, third quarter. Now Boone County trailing by a touchdown. And a Louisville Trinity player has an equipment problem. That's number 36, Sean Johnson, on the far side of the field. And a good crowd of Louisville Trinity fans. They didn't have far to come.
No, they didn't. And I looked across the way there, and there's a pretty nice crowd, but when it was raining to start the game, some of them might have been underneath. That's why it didn't look like too large a crowd from Trinity.
Owings hands the ball to Alexander. He's working hard for just 1 yard.
Right.
Don Weber is down on the sideline. Let's see what Don has for us now. Don.
We're here with 2 of the Boone County cheerleaders, and first, who do we have?
Robin Pugh and Lee Walton.
Robin, are the Rebels going to be able to come back in this game, you think?
Rebels are a third quarter team. We've always done it in third quarter, and we're going to do it again.
Is it kind of hard to keep the crowd alive when things aren't going too well?
Our crowd's awesome. We've got
what's going to have to happen for you guys to come back, you think?
They're going to have to rise to the occasion and do it like they've done before. Sean's going to have to get pumped up and get the rest of the guys going.
And that's your all's job, right?
That's right.
All right. Thank you very much. Two cheerleaders. They haven't given up hope about the Rebels. Back to you, Wes.
And the Rebels now face a 3rd down and 6 from their own 28-yard line with 5:50 left to play, 3rd quarter.
Look for a quick pitch or something like that. Up, scissors, crisscross, I should say.
And Brian Maney is hit by about 9 Trinity Shamrocks there at the 30-yard line. And they'll come up about 4 yards shy, maybe 3 yards shy.
You can see it here. This is a crisscross. It's a wing T play, double handoff in the backfield. You know, I think it's a great play call. I thought Trinity's linebackers were flying so much that they might get him with the misdirection. I think they should stay with some misdirection or something like that because they are really flying to the football.
Punting situation for Boone County. Aaron Bird averages about 34 yards a kick.
Gonna get a good roll.
And that'll take a good Boone County roll inside the 30-yard line to the 26. So with 4:56 left to play in the 3rd quarter, Louisville Trinity has the ball back.
Billy Ingram is walking up the sideline now. He's just now coming out of the locker room from the half. He's walking with the trainer from Kentucky Rehab, so I don't know if they've treated him and taped him up specially or he's in full gear. I don't know if he's going to give it a try or not.
And there you see coming in basically to the bottom of your screen. So Billy Ingram is back, and they are working him out on the sidelines. As Trinity begins a drive from its own 27-yard line, and Corey Taylor a quick gain of 5 up to the 32.
Gain of 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Ball is at the Trinity 32-yard line.
Back split this time on the quick count by Cash. A hand to Taylor. He is close to first down yardage up at the 37-yard line.
Run the dive right into the open side, into the twin side there. Trying to hit the crease in a hurry.
First down, Trinity.
And that is a first down. They don't even have to measure. Ball just shy of the 38-yard line. First down for the Rocks with 4:09 left, 3rd quarter.
38-yard line.
That is Taylor, and he's into the clear. Taylor to the 30, to the 20, tries to cut inside and is down inside the 10-yard line.
They run the dive to him, and he cut it all the way back across the field. Mitch Owens took a great pursuit angle, but you can see this. Here he comes back, 55 over pursuing, comes all the way back, backside safety. Good angle pursuit, was able to knock him out of bounds.
That's a 54-yard gain by Corey Taylor. First and goal, Trinity at the 8-yard line. And the give there was to Phil Edge, not much.
Billy Ingram going back in the game right now. First time we've seen him this half.
And there you see Billy Ingram heading back to the Boone County defensive huddle, number 40. Missed much of this game because we think a knee injury. Second and goal. Boone County has prided itself over the years on solid defense, good linebackers. This may not be the best defense Boone County has ever had, but it is certainly a good one, and they've got a challenge here. Corey Taylor plowing up the middle inside the 5, close to the 3-yard line.
You can see the fullback. They're trying to trap in there.
Gain of 6 yards.
Pretty good effort.
3rd and goal at the 4.
3rd and goal for Trinity. 2.5 minutes left, 3rd quarter. two wide receivers out to the left side, and Cash keeps, and Cash is almost to the goal line. He put the football over the goal line, but the officials are saying he was down at the 1.
You know, the ball does, when the ball breaks the plane, it is considered a touchdown, but if the knee is already down before the ball goes over, then the ball's, it's dead. So it's 4th and 1.
4th down and
4th and goal, actually, yeah.
At the 1. What a goal line stand by Boone County so far, but now here's the one that counts.
Trinity going to call timeout, Wes. Pretty good option coverage on the option there on the 3rd down play. The quarterback tried to cut it up in there, and the linebacker met him.
I'm going to make an understatement here. This is certainly the biggest play of the game so far, because if Trinity takes a 2-touchdown lead here at the end of the 3rd quarter, that's big.
Well, it's big because that's 2 touchdowns for Boone, and you know, they rely on driving the ball and taking up a lot of time, and Sean has not shown yet that he's going to be able to break the long play like he was able to last week against Fern Creek.
And you told me both times before you played Boone County, the key to stopping Boone County is to make Sean Alexander work.
Exactly.
Let him have his 120, 130, 140 yards, but make him work, make him break no long plays, and he hasn't broken a long play today.
That was the difference last week in the Fern Creek game with Boone, is the long touchdown runs. That beat Fern Creek.
So here we go, 4th and goal at the 1. Chris Cash quickly to the line of scrimmage, quick snap, hand to Corey Taylor. He is to the goal line, and there is no signal.
The line judge has him not in.
The line judge is saying he was down inside the 1. Boone County has held.
Trinity went to their best play of the 2nd half, and that's been the fullback dive. And they went to their strength. Boone went to their strength and stuffed him.
Mark, look at where the football is. It can't be any closer to the goal line.
Here you can see the play. Number 25 fullback coming through and trying to see who hit him. Great defensive. Them linebackers stuffed it.
Now Boone County doesn't have much time to celebrate this goal line stand because they've got to be careful down here.
Yes, sir. It's going to be simple handoffs down here.
Boone County in the shadow of its own goal post, and they might have gotten a break there if there's a flag.
They sure did.
Because a Trinity player jumped off sides, and that'll give them some breathing room.
You know, Trinity's got the athletic ability. There's a couple ways to look at defending Boone County. Trinity has the athletic ability here to play real tough because they can catch Sean before he gets on a long run.
Okay, it's not a break for Boone County. It is a false start by Boone County, and how do you judge half the distance to the goal line here?
It wasn't much. You're right. They might have been trying to get a running start knowing that the penalty could have hurt them.
So again, 1st down from inside the 1-yard line, and it's still, for all intents and purposes, 1st and 10, and on a quarterback keep. A very safe call by Boone County Brain Trust. Mitch Owings pushes the ball out to near the 2-yard line.
Gives them some room with it. They can take the ball back and hand it to Sean now.
Gain of 1 yard.
So 2nd down and 8 from just outside the 2-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him run the sneak again, but probably on a longer count.
40 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Boone County trailing Louisville Trinity 14-7 in the Class 4A state championship game. You called it.
Sometimes you get lucky.
And Owens pushed the ball out to near the 5-yard line, just shy of the 5. As the seconds wind down here in the 3rd quarter, 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and Boone County may not have to run another play.
I don't think they will.
2 seconds, 1 second. And we are at the end of the 3rd quarter. In the Class 4A state championship, Boone County trying to win it for the first time in school history. Louisville Trinity trying to win a state championship at any level for the 12th time in school history. 14-7, Trinity leads it. We'll be back with the 4th and final quarter after this.
Mirror for a minute. Are you still waiting for the best time to buy? Smatter Cheese. Get the Montgomery Chevrolet, the Big M on Preston. Get yourself a 95 Camaro, just $299 down and $299 a month. That's with air, cruise, power steering, and brakes. Or a 95 Chevy S10, just $299 down and $199 a month. That's with air, power steering, and more. Come on over, save a whole bunch of money. Impress Mom and M's when you come over for dinner. That's the Big M on Preston, Montgomery Chevrolet. Appreciate it.
I just decided that I needed to go back to work because we needed a second income because one just wasn't making it anymore. It was a 6-month course, in and out, with 2 weeks in between. Each quarter's about 3 months, and it was great. I loved going back to school. I loved it. I got a job before I even had my finals. I had my job last Thursday, and I just got finished with finals yesterday. The teachers are very caring. They really do care about you. If you got a problem, all you have to do is go to them, and if they can't help you, they'll find somebody who can.
All right, we begin the fourth quarter of the Class 4A state championship game. Boone County in a comeback bid. 14-7, Louisville Trinity leads it. And the Rebels facing 3rd down and 6. Ball inside the 5-yard line. Rebels offense taking over after the defense held on a terrific goal line stand. And Owings hands the ball off to Sean Alexander, and the Rock defense swarms to him at the 5-yard line, so it'll be 4th down and a punting situation at the 5. Not much room for error back here.
No, sir. You just have to make sure you get it off. Clean snap, get the ball off. You can work from there. I can't say enough about these inside linebackers of Trinity. They are just great players. And again, it looks like the secret to their defense is the defensive linemen keeping offensive linemen off those linebackers.
So despite the goal line stand by Boone County, Trinity is now winning the game of field position. Trinity should get the ball back in terrific field position here. And the return goes inside the 30-yard line by Jeff Ralston on the return.
35-yard punt.
There's a little skirmish on the far side. And there's a flag.
We have a flag.
Let's see what happened here at the end of the return by Jeff Ralston.
Again, Boone was flying down the field. They might have over-pursued on the punt.
5-6 defenders, special teams players of Boone County in on the tackle. I wonder if they're going to call a late hit.
It was thrown awfully late. I think they're going to see an unsportsmanlike. I think it was on the bench. I saw the coach talking to an official, and then the official reached in and threw the flag.
So it's an unsportsmanlike conduct call against Trinity. Backs them up to the 44-yard line, and their field position still good. Not as good as being inside the 30. Well, Boone County being backed up to its own goal line a few seconds ago. Finish the thought here in a minute. Reminded me of a run in Boone County history, the longest run in Boone County school history. About 10 years ago, Boone County was backed up to its own goal line, and Shane Beckett had a 99-yard, 2-foot touchdown run that Don Weber and I have talked about over the years. So Owen Houck wasn't always so conservative, but that wasn't a state championship game either.
Right. They've had some great running backs come through there. It's almost amazing to think of the running backs that have come through.
We talk about George Rudd, Shane Beckett, Carl Adkins, John Alford. Who am I missing? John Ransdell. And this guy out on the field.
Right. And I'll tell you what, if Sean weren't there, Brian Manning would be one of the ones we'd be talking about also.
Cash. And the pass is incomplete, and 3 flags come flying in. They're going to call interference here. Mark, I just noticed as we were talking about the Shane Beckett run during the first down play, the penalty a few minutes ago, the unsportsmanlike conduct call was after the punt return, so Trinity has been facing 1st down and 25, 2nd down and 23. So they've got to get to the 19-yard line for a 1st down.
Right, that's why they had Sean and Alexander and a few of the other ones in there on pass defense. They're calling pass interference on Boone.
Defensive pass interference.
Boone County got good pressure there. They had real good pressure and flushed him out of the pocket some. Threw the ball down. It's a pretty close call here.
And regardless of where that happened, isn't that a 15-yard penalty?
Automatic first down also.
First down, Trinity.
That's the key thing. So not only does it negate the yardage that Trinity lost on the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, gives the Rocks a first down. And upended just beyond the line of scrimmage is the halfback Phil Edge.
Ray Arnold came in and made the play.
Gained a little more than a yard, just shy of the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8. 10 minutes, 10 seconds left in the Class 4A state championship game. Boone County trailing Louisville Trinity 14-7. Trinity sends wide receivers to the left side. And Cash keeps up the middle, inside the 20 to close to the 19-yard line. Was that a broken play?
Looked like a broken play, Wes. You can tell the backfield set wasn't what he wanted because he moved the backs around just before the play, but you can see here looks like he's looking for the other back to come around and he doesn't come through.
Let's make that 6 and make it 3rd and 2.
Third down for Trinity. The ball just inside the 20. They need to get to the 17-yard line for a first down. Fans with their jugs and their coins, making some noise. Taylor, he's got the first down to the 15-yard line.
Taylor, number 25.
They went a little unbalanced there, Wes. They brought the left tackle over to the right side. Only had two linemen to the left of the center there and ran the dive play into it. It kind of just spreads the defense out, just one more gap.
First down. First and 10, Trinity at the Boone County 15-yard line.
See who's on the far sideline behind the Louisville Trinity cheerleaders?
Santa.
He is making an early appearance. Maybe there you see him at the top of your screen.
My children are probably going nuts.
That was not a fake. That was a give to Corey Taylor. And he is stopped at the line of scrimmage at the 15-yard line.
Nice play that time. They've been trying to get the fullback trap going again there, and they stuffed it. One time they'll get the trap, next time they won't. It's like that with the trap.
And Brooks Downing from the Kentucky High School Athletic Association stopping by to tell us that estimated attendance for this game, 10,000. Good crowd on hand for the Class 4A state championship game. Quick count. And a stick behind the line of scrimmage.
That's how you have to play the option, Wes. You have to have two people take that dive, man. Then the end, here you can see it. Definitely 2 men on the dive. Somebody's on the quarterback, and then the corner's coming up right on the pitch. Perfect option responsibility there. And the pursuit to the ball.
And the good play by Steve Wagner.
And Boone County's gone to you could almost think of it as a nickel package where they've brought in Sean Alexander and a few other defensive backs to play man cover on this 3rd and long situation.
3rd down and 11 from the 16-yard line. Cash hands the ball to Corey Taylor. He gets to the 15-yard line.
It seemed with that call that they were playing for field goal here.
I was going to ask them now, do they put the football closer to the middle of the field here after this run? No, they're still on the left side hash mark.
Right, but they went dive that way probably to get the ball toward the middle a little bit.
Ball is on the Boone County 15-yard line. Attempting Rob Baronis, number 16, holding number 85.
So the senior Rob Baronis will try a field goal now. Line of scrimmage, the 15. They'll put it down at the 22, a 32-yard try.
Wow.
And it is blocked.
Steve Wagner blocked it coming off the left corner. He came through untouched, just hustled and took the ball right off the kicker's foot. Great play. Here you can see him. He comes off the left side, and he doesn't go. He goes where the ball is going to be kicked. That's really good coaching. A lot of guys will go right at the tee. He went to where the ball was going to be. What an effort.
now the Boone County offense takes over. 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line. Alexander comes in motion, and he falls down behind the line of scrimmage. Brian Maney, I think, was trying to throw him a block, and the Trinity player just dominated there.
Yes. I don't know whether he tripped or what.
Loss of 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 14.
So they lose yardage back to the 21-yard line. 2nd down and 14. Exactly what Boone County did not need. 6:10 left to play in the game.
Here's what I thought they would do.
There's Alexander. He is wrestled down at the 26.
Trinity showed their quickness there. He was in the open field, and they recovered in a hurry.
Yeah, for a couple seconds, that looked like a big play for Boone
They
County.
had a great block on Reggie White, the inside linebacker, and I thought he was going to turn the corner. And great pursuit.
So a big 3rd down play here, 3rd and 9 on the 26-yard line. Here comes Alexander in motion. Owens back to throw. He's got pressure. What are they ruling here? Are they ruling an incomplete pass? No fumble, incomplete pass.
Right.
I think Brian
Somebody
Maney was the intended receiver.
Somebody came off the right side and got him where he couldn't see him coming. He did get his arm going forward, though, and so it's incomplete pass.
Mr. Rebel almost in prayer.
Deep for Trinity, number 29, Ben James. Also deep, Jeff Ralston, number 19, and Bill Edge, number 20.
So Aaron Bird on to punt.
Aaron Bird, number 5.
And a fair catch called for at the 39-yard line by Jeff Ralston.
Number 19, Jeff Ralston.
Trinity stepped up the defense after the blocked field goal. They 3 and out for Boone.
And so now the Boone County defense with its biggest test of the season. 5:20 left in the Class 4A state championship game. And there you see it, the Rebels trail by 7. Boone County defense looking for a stop, a 3 and out by Trinity, or a big play by the defense, and they stopped Corey Taylor after a short gain to the 40 to the 41-yard line.
That's Mitch Owens being treated on the sidelines. He's their starting safety, one of their starting safeties. Tom Burns, trainer from Kentucky Rehab, checking him out.
And their quarterback. So the gain was 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Quick snap. Hand to Taylor. Looked like Boone County had him stopped after a yard or 2, but he kept working close to the 45-yard line.
Right, they ran the outside veer there, which is the dive play, just an extra man out, and they're reading the end of the line there, and he just gave.
3 yards.
Boone County player having an equipment problem with a shoe. Brent Dawson gets to the sideline.
Darrell Long, 6 foot, 170-pound sophomore, went in for him. There's the counter.
Sean Johnson, 1st down. And he's into the open field, and this could be the touchdown that seals it for Louisville Trinity. Sean Johnson. He's the one who returned the opening kickoff 90 yards for a Trinity touchdown, and he has struck again here in the 4th.
Here you can see a little misdirection play, counter Trey, coming all the way back, makes a move on number 12, and then it's a foot race to the end zone. Put a little move on Chris Williams there.
That is a 46-yard touchdown. Rob Baronis will try to tack on the extra point for the Rocks, who lead it now 20-7. And flags before the ball can be kicked. You know, you think of Boone County being the big play team. Trinity 2 of their 3 touchdowns today. The 90-yard kickoff returned by Johnson and a 46-yard rushing touchdown by Sean Johnson. Don Weber is down on the sidelines. Don?
Thanks, Wes. Frustration really setting in for Boone County. Mitch Owings, after he was sacked, a little groggy coming off the field. He was hit hard, and it was more frustration than anything. Kicked over the bench and very upset. And then after the long run, obviously does not look good for Boone County, trailing by 2 touchdowns with 3:58 left. Back to you, Wes.
And flags again as Trinity tries the PAT. They had a procedure call the first time, I believe, and that backed them up, and they get backed up again.
Offsides, Boone County.
That'll negate the earlier penalty, and they'll put it back close to, I guess, the 3-yard line. .358 left in the Class 4A state championship game as a Trinity player is down and injured, out of your picture there at the 20-yard line.
Ryan Lundgaard for Trinity is down. Looks like they're treating him for a cramp.
So it's 20-7 with the point after touchdown pending.
I know a lot of people think it's over, but there's 4 minutes basically to go, and Sean Alexander has not hit him for the home run yet. No, you got to figure he's due. But Trinity plays such great defense, or playing such great defense today that I'm not sure he can cut it loose.
So the kick good, and it makes it 21-7, but I don't know if Sean Alexander has done it this year, but he's capable of doing it on a kickoff. We will take a break and have the kickoff back to Boone County in just a minute. Back for the final 4 minutes of the Class 4A state championship game. Shamrocks of Louisville Trinity with the lead, 21-7. Wes Wright along with Mark Getz. Don Weber down on the sidelines. Billy Wright kicks it off, and Sean Alexander tries to gather it in, does so at the 10-yard line. And Boone's return is shy of the 20. And so an offense that has not had to pass a whole lot this year and has relied heavily on the ground game may have to put it in the air. Line of scrimmage, the 18-yard line. Send Ben Brown, a wide receiver, to the near side. And pitch it to Sean Alexander. He gets to the 20, a gain of 2.
Once again, number 36, Sean Johnson, making the play. Can't say enough about Trinity's defense today. Just how everything is set up to keep those inside linebackers free. You know, the defensive tackles just basically give themselves up and draw the double team and let 30 and 36, White and Johnson, just run.
Down to 3 minutes left in the state championship game. And the pitch to Alexander. This is a halfback option. He's airing it out down the sidelines, and that is intercepted by Trinity. Near midfield, number 29, Matt James, with a team-leading 6 interceptions coming into this game, make it 7.
This is the halfback pass that they scored a touchdown on against Covington Catholic in the first game of the season. Matt James, he stays really disciplined, never lets the receiver behind him. Trinity has made all the plays all day when they've had to. People were right. This is a great defensive team.
So Trinity takes over with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the Class 4A state championship game. Chris Cash. And you can bet that they'll keep it conservative here as Corey Taylor goes right up the middle. Boone County will be trying to strip the ball carrier of the ball, tugging at the football.
game of 2. Immediately following the game, we ask you not to come onto the field. We must make ready for the presentation ceremony.
Boone County has 3 timeouts left, so we'll see when they choose to use them.
Conduct your interviews
if they choose to use them at all.
Thank you.
Because they'll need to save them for if they get the football back.
Second and 8.
I think a lot will have to do with what happens here in this play. They'll get a better feel whether they're going to get the ball back. They might use one here.
Corey Taylor on the carry to the 48-yard line. And a timeout called by Boone County. With 1:51 left to play. Trinity with the lead, 21-7. And it looks at this point like Trinity will take its record in state championship games to a remarkable 12-1. And Boone County, the team for whom so many people back in northern Kentucky were rooting for Owen Houck to get that first ever state championship at Boone County. Remember, he won one 30 years ago at Highlands. But after building Boone County into a powerhouse by the mid-1980s, he's brought the Rebels down here to a state championship game 4 times now, and it looks like the Boone County record in state championship games is going to go to 0-4.
You have to give some credit here, a lot of credit to Trinity. Going through 4 losses in a row right in the middle of the season. They made some personnel changes. They have regrouped and gone on a tear in these playoffs.
This is an emergency.
See a subdued Boone County sideline there.
There's the counter that they scored a touchdown on earlier.
And on the 3rd and 7 carry, Phil Edge takes it inside the 45-yard line. He'll be about a yard or 2 shy of what Trinity needs for a first down, and they'll force a 4th down and about 2. Boone County calls it second timeout with 1:43 left.
Please conduct your interviews at the sidelines. Thank you for your cooperation. Gain of 5 yards on the play. When play resumes, it'll be 4th and 2.
Talked earlier in the game about how the 10-4 record for Louisville Trinity was certainly deceiving, and they've proven that out here on the field today.
They sure have. They've done offensively. They were real sharp in the first quarter, and then Boone's played better defense here in the second half. They've taken away the middle in that passing game and things like that. The big play, you can look at it right now. The big counter play for a touchdown and the kickoff return really has been the big plays that have hurt Boone.
Again, the 90-yard kickoff return to start the game by Sean Johnson of Trinity. And then here in the 4th quarter, he broke a 46-yard touchdown run that really has sealed it, apparently, for Louisville Trinity.
The Trinity's they have a 4th and 2 here. I guess I thought they might punt the ball away. Nope, they're going to go for it.
They're going to go for it here on 4th and 2 at the 44-yard line. On a long count this time, Chris Cash.
We're going to try to draw them off.
Longest count of the game by Chris Cash.
Time out, Trinity.
So indeed, Louisville Trinity was trying to see if Boone County would jump off sides and give them a free first down. That did not happen, so Trinity now calls a timeout, and they might send their punting unit onto the field.
All right, they'll punt the ball away here.
They gave us an estimated attendance earlier, Mark. They're saying now 11,425 is the attendance for the Class 4A state championship game. Good crowd for the 3A game today, which Covington Catholic won in dramatic come-from-behind fashion, 24-21, and Bowling Green was driving for what would have been a game-winning touchdown. They were inside the 5-yard line as time expired, and there was a curious ending to that game. Folks down on the field, and I'm sure even Bowling Green fans were wondering why they didn't stop the clock with a pass play inside of 20 seconds. But they didn't have any timeouts, and they couldn't stop the clock, and they were inside the 5-yard line. No such finish in store here, it would appear. And the Trinity Punter nails the ball inside the 5-yard line. Did that go out of bounds at the 1?
On the 1. That's a great punt by Trinity, and just the way Boone County's day has gone so all day. It's just been that way.
Billy Wright, the punter, nailed it. And so for the second time here in the second half, Boone County begins in the worst field position possible at their own 1-yard line.
Trinity has played a perfect game, basically. Almost a perfect game.
A minute 34 left. Owings is back to throw. He's in trouble in the end zone and fires the pass complete to Ben Brown. Out to the 7-yard line. Jimbo, what's Jimbo's last name? You can remember that number 99 easily enough.
Schaefer.
Jimbo Schaefer. Putting the pressure on the Boone County quarterback, and he unloaded just in time.
2nd and 3.
Brown got out of bounds there at the 7-yard line. Clock stops at 1:28 left in the game. Owings back to throw again. Floats it down the near sideline. Intended for Sean Alexander and incomplete. So it'll be 3rd down and 3 coming up.
Trinity still playing the same 6-man front. They're only playing 1 linebacker now with 4 deep.
Owen Houck. Can't help but root for Owen Houck. A lot of Northern Kentucky fans, whether you're a Boone County fan or not, if you're a Northern Kentucky fan in general, know that Boone County is a football coach through and through. 21 years at Boone County, about 7 years prior to that at Mount Healthy in Ohio, and then prior to that, he began as an assistant and then a head coach at Highlands, where he took the Bluebirds to the state championship over Madison High School in 1964. And he has brought the Rebels down here, like I said before, 4 times, but they've yet to bring home a big trophy.
We must make the awards. And media,
Coach Houck was an assistant for Homer Rice at Highlands, and then when he went to UC to coach when Homer was at UC also. He's been around some great coaches, and then he's a lot of Dave Eckstein at Ryle and a lot of other people have worked under Coach Houck are pretty good football coaches also.
So Bird to punt on 4th down, and Trinity didn't have anybody back to receive it, and Boone County will let the ball roll past midfield and down it at the 46-yard line. So Trinity will take over with 29 seconds left to play. And the celebration has probably already begun on the far side in the stands, but it's really beginning now on the Trinity sidelines.
And a lot of things have gone really well for Trinity today. The opening kickoff, very few mistakes. You know, everything's gone right for them. And in Boone County, they lose Billy Ingram basically in the first series of the game. You know, with the knee injury, it's been one of them days.
And then, not that it mattered here late in the game, but the punt going out of bounds at the 1-yard line was
insult to injury.
Apropos for the way things have been going for Louisville Trinity today. It's 1st down for the Rocks at the 46-yard line. Clock moving with 7 seconds left, and the countdown underway in earnest on the far side at 3, 2, 1, and there you go. The state championship belongs to Louisville Trinity for the 12th time in the history of their school. They beat the Boone County Rebels 21-7.
And once again, please come on the playing field so we may make these presentations. Thank you.
See the congratulations going on. Ray Arnold, big Boone County defensive end, but some players not taking part, just too disappointed to do so.
Both teams had great years. Trinity turned it around in mid-season. Boone going 14-1, 14 wins in a row over some great competition they've had to play against. There's not much you can say to make any of those kids feel much better though right now.
Again, their quarterback was injured. Trinity's quarterback was injured in the middle of their season during a 4-game losing streak to Louisville St. X, Louisville Central, Indianapolis Ben Davis, and Louisville Eastern. So their 10-4 record coming into this game, a little bit deceiving, and they now go to 11-4 with the state championship and the 5th state championship under head coach Dennis Lampley. It's going to be a long ride back to Florence, but the season that Boone County put together coming up to this game,
great season,
was nothing short of outstanding.
Think of the people they've had to play against every week and who they've beaten. They played the 3A state champion Covington Catholic in week 1. Played the crosstown team in Connor in week 2. Then they beat Cincinnati Elder, a powerhouse in Cincinnati. Then they won on a run through the Lexington schools with a real close game over Henry Clay, pretty good football team. They just have overcome an awful lot of injuries through the year. Russell Carter was hurt earlier on.
Notice did a great job. Mention that they beat perhaps the best Campbell County team in school history.
I will say it. They beat an awfully good
twice.
Yeah, they beat an awfully good Campbell County team twice.
And not to bring that in to rub it in or anything, but to beat the best Campbell County team ever says something for Boone County.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, they've beaten some very good teams.
And now for the presentation of the awards.
So they're getting ready now to present the runner-up trophy to Boone County, and Don Weber is joining in on the talk with head coach Owen Houck down on the field.
Well, you like the win. Yeah. Okay, excuse me.
And Coach Houck is now going to accept the runner-up trophy. We'll get a chance to talk with him and perhaps a couple of other Boone County Rebels in just a minute, as the championship trophy will go to the Rocks of Louisville Trinity. Stan Steidel from Northern Kentucky, from Dayton High School, a board member of the Kentucky High School Athletic Association, presenting the runner-up trophy to Owen Houck and the Boone County Rebels. And then always from the far side comes as the championship trophy is presented to the Shamrocks.
And the trophy award
that keeps their record intact of every senior class every 4 years at least winning one state championship.
Yeah, it's amazing the history that Louisville Trinity, their only loss in the state championship game came back in 1970. Let's check in with Don Weber down on the field.
A lot of difference as far as our blocking schemes were concerned. That really was a problem. Losing Billy that way, and only, him not being able to play offensively really hurt us. It really did.
Coach, what is it about this stadium? It's been like a house of horrors for you.
I don't know. It's hard to say. It's, I really don't have anything to say right now about it, Dan. It's just a very disappointing, and that's about all you can say about it.
Sean never really got going, did he?
Not today. It was pretty much one of those kind of days for him. They did a real good job about it. So,
as you look at this season, obviously, I guess losing the last game's disappointing, but boy, I mean, what a year.
Oh yeah. It really, it was a good year. I really don't have anything more to say, guys. I really, thank you. Thank you.
A disappointed Coach Owen Houck. Boone County losing the state championship game. Actually, we should say Trinity won it. Boone County played tough and played hard, and they really didn't make many mistakes. It's just that Trinity got a couple of bounces, a couple of big plays, right. The opening kickoff, the 46-yard run by Sean Johnson, and they add to their trophy case at Louisville Trinity that already includes state championships in 1968, 1972 and 73, 1976 and 77, 80, 83, 85, 88, 89, and 90. And the team that Louisville Trinity beat in the semifinals in 88, 89, and 90 was Boone County.
Like Coach Houck said, though, they had a great season. And it's really difficult for anybody to say much.
A lot of Boone County players dejected, so is Mr. Rebel. Don Weber is working down on the sidelines to see who else we might want to talk to before we wrap things up here from Cardinal Stadium in Louisville. And we'll come back to the Class 4A State Championship post game. 21-7, Louisville Trinity beats Boone County. We'll be back in a minute.
Why do we sell so many four-door sidekicks here at Perkins? Probably because of Suzuki's worldwide reputation for building quality products.
Why do I like my sidekick? Well, it's durable and it's fun.
Another factor is they're very fuel efficient.
I get great gas mileage with this baby, and it's fun.
Plus, they cost a lot less than most four-door, four-wheel drives on the market today.
The price on this compared to all the others, night and day.
And it's fun. I guess they really are fun to drive, too.
Have you visited Louisville's leader for sports cars and comics? If not, slide into Squeeze Play. You can't afford to miss Squeeze Play's extensive line of hobby merchandise and supplies. And while you're there, check out Squeeze Play's massive comics section with hundreds of new releases every Wednesday. Squeeze Play leads the way in comics and sports cards. Squeeze Play now with 4 Louisville area locations: Westport Road, Taylorsville Road, Preston at Indian Trail, and Dixie Manor.
Back at Cardinal Stadium in Louisville, the celebration for the Louisville Trinity Shamrocks and their fans continues down in the end zone. And the Boone County Rebels preparing for a long ride home back to Florence after Trinity beats Boone County 21-7 in the Class 4A State Championship game. Mark, now Boone County tries to reload for next year, but what a big loss when Sean Alexander graduates. Now he's got a big decision to make, and Sean Alexander's done a good job of blocking this out, blocking all of the hoopla about where's he going to go to college. Is it Notre Dame? Is it Michigan? Is it Penn State? Alabama came into the picture in the last 4 or 5 weeks, and they're a finalist as well. And they did a good job. He did a good job of blocking that out and focusing on these playoff games and the state championship game.
I agree with you, and I give Sean a lot of credit for doing that, and the coaches and his parents and everybody like that. They had one goal, was to get to this game, and they reached that goal, and I'm sure they wanted to finish it for Coach Houck. They just ran into a Trinity team that basically played a perfect game. Trinity moved around their defensive front an awful lot as far as different fronts and were alignments, and I think that gave Boone some problems on how they how they could block, and it never really freed Sean up. I also go back to the first quarter of this game here, of how Boone could never get in sync, and then basically, because of the kickoff right away and then the punt where the interference, they just weren't able to get in their flow of things until maybe into the second quarter.
I think a lot of folks in Northern Kentucky were rooting for Boone County to get a state championship for themselves and for Coach Owen Houck, and it's sad that that didn't happen, and sad the outcome of this game for that reason, but also because it marks the last game of Sean Alexander. How long is it going to be before we see a back of this caliber again?
He's been a great back and fun to watch, except when he played against us, of course. But he brought a lot of notoriety to Northern Kentucky, and he's a great back. And this today, he still had over 100 yards. You can't take anything away from what he's done and what Boone County team has done this year.
Now he's in an enviable position. He's got to choose between 4 or however many finalists he has, major college football programs going after Sean Alexander.
And I don't think that would be easy. I think everybody thinks how easy that would be. I would think that would drive me nuts if I, as a parent, if one of my kids were having to go through that. Like you said, he has done an admirable job of focusing on what he needs to do this year. He's got a tough decision to make.
All right, let's take a break and come back and wrap it up from Cardinal Stadium in Louisville.
At Greg Gray Coats Cars and Trucks, we won't drop the ball. Come in now and we'll draw up a game plan with monthly payments that are too good to pass up.
That's right, Tammy, like these 92 Tauruses with full power as low as $129 a month, or sporty Geo-Tracker convertible starting at just $149 a month, or 91 Lincoln Town Cars with carriage roof loaded for as little as $229 a month.
At Gray Coats Cars and Trucks, we're tackling high prices head on.
You can afford it. Yes, you can. At Great Coats Cars and Trucks.
Thank you for calling TKR Cable. This is Dawn. How can I help you?
At TKR Cable, we receive nearly 1 million telephone calls each year. Many of these callers have questions about their cable service. We know that each customer is the lifeblood of our business, so we treat every caller with respect and fair service. But sometimes we find it necessary to go above and beyond the call of duty. Why? Because at TKR, we never forget you're watching.
Imagine her delight in a luxurious fur from Louisville's #1 furrier, Kleinman Furs. And now, during our holiday sale, take advantage of great savings on our entire inventory of new furs and leathers. No nonsense pricing and 3 generations of expertise make Kleinman's the obvious choice. Kleinman's Furs, since 1919, open 7 days a week for your holiday shopping convenience.
Here for a minute. Are you still waiting for the best time to buy? Smatter Cheese. Get the Montgomery Chevrolet, the Big M on Preston. Get yourself a 95 Camaro, just $299 down and $299 a month. That's with air,
cruise, power steering, and brakes. Or a 95 Chevy S10, just $299 down and $199 a month. That's with air, power steering, and more. Come on over, save a whole bunch of money. Impress Mom and them when you come over for dinner. That's the Big M on Preston, Montgomery Chevrolet. Appreciate it.
Wes Wright, Mark Getz, Don Weber back at Cardinal Stadium in Louisville to wrap things up after the Class 4A state championship game. It goes to the Rocks of Louisville Trinity, 21-7 over Boone County. Just handed final statistics. First time this year probably, Mark, that Sean Alexander wasn't held under 100 yards. 27 carries for 96 yards. That's certainly a key in this game. And now we wrap up a triple header of coverage. We did the Class A state championship game with Beechwood winning and the controversial last play of the game on Friday. Covington Catholic a come from behind win in the 3A state championship game earlier today, and Boone County falls to Louisville Trinity 21-7. Mark, pleasure working with you.
Great, really enjoyed it. This has been great. The level of play in Kentucky's getting better every year, you can see it.
And we enjoy doing your 2 Campbell County, Boone County games. Continued success at Campbell County.
Thanks a lot.
All right, we will wrap it up here from Cardinal Stadium in Louisville for our entire TKR Cable crew. Folks from Northern Kentucky and Greater Louisville as well. You'll see their names, folks behind the scenes who did a lot of hard work for all 3 games, our triple header of coverage. You'll see their names shortly. For Don Weber, Mark Getz, Wes Wright saying so long from Cardinal Stadium in Louisville.
smiles today. Tomorrow we'll be dying. We'll be dying. The glorious lamp of heaven, the sun, the higher he's getting,
I'm Doug Williams. Welcome to the last Fat Tire Journal of the '94 season.
And I'm Carolyn Heldman. We've had a great time bringing you the show this year, all the way from Moab, Utah, to the lovely Caribbean island of Montserrat.
On today's show, we're going to look at some Utah riding, take a peek at Cannondale's factory, plus we'll have an interview with one of the young gun pros, Mark Howe.
We're also going to explore this tiny little island and check out the tropical racing and cycling scene.
We've got a really fun show, so stick around.
It's where proven technology crosses with gut feelings. Where the art of metallurgy is combined with a love for mud and sweat. Where second best is just that, second best. GT Bicycles, where good enough doesn't even come close. GT Bicycles, innovation that works.
Shimano Rapid Fire Plus. Perfect components for the perfect ride.
Market took a hit today.
Yes, it's tough out there.
Oh, I don't know. That bar Cheers, it's packed every night. They're doing great.
I'm sure. My mutual fund is being mismanaged. I'm thinking of suing.
Oh, I know a great lawyer.
Really?
Yeah, Matlock.
Matlock?
Okay, he's a little old, but he's never lost a case. Undefeated.
Some people know CNBC is the first place for business news.
Oh, time for hard copy.
And some don't. CNBC, when you're tired of tuning out, tune in.
'Tis the season for sports this December on Prime. First, for some international flavor, the top players will decorate the courts with a variety of shots. Ho, ho, ho. Then the college kids head to the field looking to hand out a few gifts in the Division I soccer championships. Ho, ho, ho. And the hoopsters won't be outdone as they plan to stuff a few stockings. Ho, ho, ho. Finally, visit a winter wonderland in the snow zone. Unwrap a bundle of sports this December on Prime.
I bonked like everybody else, probably. Personally speaking, the Canyon Rim Trail here, which runs along the top of Red Canyon, is one of my favorites, and I'm a little biased, of course, because I have a big interest in this trail. I work on it an awful lot. I think it's one of the nicest mountain bike rides in the state of Utah. It's highly scenic and has a variety of terrain for just about everybody. Flaming Gorge National Recreation Area, all our trails, be they motorized or non-motorized, are multiple-use trails. The Canyon Rim Trail here is a non-motorized trail, but we allow mountain bikes, hikers, horseback riders, and cross-country ski trail during the winter. I'm a firm believer in multiple-use trails, be they motorized or non-motorized. With a little education and consideration, I think all our trails will be multiple-use. I do ride mountain bikes. It's one of the activities I participate in.
Does that make your interest in building these trails bigger?
I think it gives me a better perspective on trying to do the trails right and get the kind of recreational opportunities that mountain bike riders want.
Discover the amazing training secrets of America's finest baseball school with Dynamic Practice Organization, a revolutionary new instructional videotape. Dynamic Practice Organization features professional scout and instructor Tommy Mansky with his famous building block approach to athletic training. This exciting instructional videotape features the same drills, techniques, and methods that have produced baseball world's back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Dynamic Practice Organization makes any coach look like a genius and organizes offensive and defensive practices that players of all ages and ability levels can't wait to attend. And immensely improves team communication skills and even conditioning. This is the instructional video that's a winner. To order your copy for only $29.95, have your credit card ready and call toll-free. 1-800-522-5333. The Dynamic Practice Organization teaching video makes a great gift, too. Call now, 1-800-522-5333.
America's next generation of Olympic heroes do battle in water and on ice. Luge and water polo grab the spotlight on Prime Olympic Showcase in competition this month on Prime.
I'm Mark Howe, and you're watching the Fat Tire Journal.
My name is Mark William Howe. I was born in Minnesota. I'm residing in Boulder, Colorado, and I ride for Team KHS. The first time I got on a mountain bike was in Wilson, Wyoming, near the Tetons, and some friends of mine that lived up there had just gotten 2 mountain bikes, and I didn't, exactly know what it was. It was, I think, probably around 1984. I went riding on these trails that were right behind their house and was hopping logs and going over rocks and, maneuvering my way through the woods and just totally fell in love with it. The first time I was doing it, I was like, this is a great way to experience a trail. Traveling is a big factor to weigh in a mountain bike racer's life because traveling affects your training, affects when you can train and how you can train and how much energy you have to train with. It is a positive experience. It's a great way to really see the country and really experience it, and you really absorb a lot more. The geography really unfolds, throughout the day when you're riding in a place, so it doesn't zip by on the window of a car, so it's really nice. First time I realized I had a lot of potential for professional mountain bike racing was in 1991. I was 3rd in my first expert race at Norba National, and that kind of gave me some indication that with some training and more experience that I could really do well racing mountain bikes and possibly have a professional mountain bike racing career. So winning the 92 National Cyclocross title was a really big point in my career because it got a lot of exposure and it got the cover of Velo News. I won Cyclocross Nationals on a mountain bike, which was kind of a coup, and there's a little bit of controversy about mountain bikes racing cyclocross because some people would rather keep it strictly cyclocross bikes. And I took to racing cyclocross naturally because I do a lot of trail running, and it's a really powerful sport. It's it takes a lot of power. It's a short race, so you really have to have, explosive strength. For training, I do a lot of road riding. I have pretty good bike handling skills from racing BMX. I actually raced motorcycles for about 6 years in my late teens, and developed really good, bike handling skills from racing BMX and motorcycles both. And it transfers over just beautifully to mountain bikes. The mental game is a really big aspect of mountain bike racing. You need to really have a lot of downtime and have, some distractions to get you away from racing and get some time away from all the focus that you put into the races. When I don't ride my bike, I do a lot of hiking. I do a little bit of running, and I like to hike in the mountains a lot. And in the wintertime, I like to snowboard, go shredding through the trees, and just free ride mostly, and do some backcountry skiing. Well, the fire shot and tread was a stunt where we had some pyrotechnics behind a ramp, and I'd go through the pilot lights 2 seconds before they would go off. Just got a really big rush of heat coming up after the ramp, and it was really exciting to plan out this stunt and work with the pyrotechnics guys and the film crew to get it going. Stunts are pretty fun to do. I'm pretty into doing them. When I was a kid, I thought being a stuntman would be a really fun job, and I'm kind of doing a few really mild stunts, but it's pretty exciting for me. I think I got my athleticism from playing very hard as a child, and growing up in Colorado had a lot to do with it. There were a lot of activities to do. Fun was the objective, and just it kept us really active, chasing fun.
So what's different now? You're still chasing fun, right?
Yeah, still chasing fun, yeah, and trying to make a living doing it, and it's a really good time.
On today's Power Bar Pick the Line, dual slalom race techniques that are guaranteed to improve your results. Start out in the right gear. We recommend the big ring and the second biggest cog. This keeps good tension on the chain and will help reduce the risk of dropping your chain during the race. Pedal in between the gates. Gravity might get you down, but if you don't pedal, you won't win. There's always a blend of style and results. This guy might be high in style, but he's low in results. Stay off of the front brakes in the turn, or you'll end up on your face. Instead, use the rear brake to slide your rear wheel around the gate. Remember, too much brake means too much skid, and you could crash or have a slow time.
Oh, carry the bike, give up here. Make him carry the bike. Hold on. Hold on, right.
You may have to hang for a while between runs, so be sure to have something to keep you busy. Keep the cows off the course, and don't forget your sunscreen.
So you're bummed because every time you get back from a great ride, you tune in just in time for the credits of the Fat Tire Journal. Well, Video Action Sports has the solution. Order triple fat, 2 fat, and the original fat video by calling 1-800-727-6689. Packed with kickin' music, awesome segments, and interviews with all the top pros, the Fat Video series has it all. Call 1-800-727-6689 and never miss the Fat Tire Journal again. That's 1-800-727-6689.
You will receive cash. Yes, cash for Rolex, cash for Patek Philippe, cash for Cartier. Heritage Estate buyers will pay you cash for these men's wristwatches or the others I will list. Heritage is on a national search for watches. We will help you with cash if you own a Vacheron, Universal Genève, Breitling, also Audemars, Movado, and L'Oultra. Your watch can be worth thousands of dollars if it's a chronograph, moon phase, or repeater. This is an opportunity for you to receive cash for a watch that's gathering dust in a drawer. Heritage Estate buyers will pay you cash for the fine men's wristwatches we listed, working or not. If you don't call now, you're losing money. Write down our number. We're ready to pay top dollars now. Time means money. Call Heritage now.
Call 1-800-352-2121 to learn how to receive cash for your vintage watch. Time means money. Call toll-free 1-800-352-2121. Call now.
Welcome back. Just because it's the dead of winter doesn't mean you have to hang up that bike and go island hopping like all of us. Up next, we have some great action from Durango's annual Snowdown Dual Slalom Race. Check it out.
Well, welcome everybody here to Purgatory's Divine Comedy Race Arena, where we're holding the Snowdown annual Dual Slalom Mountain Bike on the Snow competition.
It's winter, but you're still watching the Fat Tire Journal.
Pretty rad.
Crazy. This is your moment of glory. Come on. Oh, I know. I wish I had my bike.
Yeah, it's wheels, you know, but there's snow. I don't know. I have a problem. I lose it in snow and wheels.
Ready? Up, 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 up.
Mr. Pierce in the red course. Red course ready. The race is ready. Go.
That's it. Hang in there.
You should let me know when you're coming like that there, Lou.
I didn't know I was coming like that, Jeff.
I see Lou in the blue course and in the red course. Ryan's good.
Hi, my name's Christoph Mack. I'm a design engineer at Cannondale. We're here in the R&D department to talk about how we design and manufacture bicycles. I'm in the CAD room here. This is a CAD station where we use computer-aided design software to design and finalize our products, everything from frames to suspension components. What it allows us to do is examine our designs in great detail before committing them to solid material. Once we're settled on a design, we'll port that information electronically down to one of our factories in Pennsylvania, where it is then used to guide a CNC laser mitering system that cuts, trims, and fits all the tubes together to form frames. After that, they're welded, heat-treated, sanded, painted, assembled with components, and they roll off the line as products to you. This here's an example of an experimental bike we're working on now. This is the second day of its existence. It's a long travel, carbon front triangle, Super V, 8,000, 9,000, who knows?
watching the Fat Tire Journal.
Don't go away. Stay tuned.
tuned to the Fat Tire Journal. Be cool.
Canada, future of cycling.
So you're bummed because every time you get back from a great ride, you tune in just in time for the credits of the Fat Tire Journal. Well, Video Action Sports has the solution. Order triple fat, 2 fat, and the original fat video by calling 1-800-727-6689. Packed with kickin' music, awesome segments, and interviews with all the top pros, the Fat Video Series has it all. Call 1-800-727-6689 and never miss the Fat Tire Journal again. That's 1-800-727-6689.
Collegiate powerhouses from around the country battle above the net, aiming to be the nation's top squad. The NCAA Women's Volleyball Regional Finals, Sunday through Tuesday on most Prime affiliates. Soccer's most dynamic stars showcase their talents in one of the world's most elite divisions, the English Premier Soccer League. The action kicks in on Prime.
This is good, man. Take a drink.
People listen, jump over the rock, shut air under a log, ride the bike in a fat tire style, mile after mile after mile after mile after mile, on Joyride, Joyride the hill. Oh, you know, you become a child, oh, muddy and wild. You like it a lot, even in Montserrat. You don't cost a lot. What's your ride? Oh, you know, Joyride the hill. Oh yeah, Jaja. Up black or white, a day or night, muscles all tight, it out of sight, it just feel right. Oh, Joyride the hill. Oh, Joyride the hill. Listen to me. All of you people are there. Joyride, Joyride the hill, Joyride the hill. In a style that's flat, how about don't get a flat? Joyride. In a fat tire style. Mile after mile after mile after mile after mile after mile on Joyride. Up the hill, down the hill, over the hill, on Joyride, on Joyride.
God dang, it was a tough flight. Yoo-hoo!
Joyride the hill, the hill, the hill. fat times, fat times, fat times, fat times.
Hey, another Fat Tire Journal season in the can.
Thanks to many of you for watching us this year.
Next season we've got a lot of action, interviews, and a whole lot more.
In the meantime, please write to us at the Fat Tire Journal, Post Office Box 108, Boulder, Colorado 80306.
Until then, keep the rubber side down.
See you on the trail.
Fat Tire Journal is sponsored by GT Bicycles. It's your world, ride it. Shimano Bicycle Componentry. And Cannondale, the future of cycling. The Montserrat Mountain Bike Challenge was sponsored by Huffy Bicycles and Continental Airlines. For more information, call Island Bikes in Montserrat, British West Indies, 809-491-5552.
Took second place in the pig pool today, and I got a can of Spam. Spam, the breakfast of champions. I eat it all the time.
Crime plays the world.
A month ago, Ozzy Ardiles was dismissed as manager of Tottenham Hotspur. Jerry Francis is now the man in charge. He's looking for his first win today. Tottenham take on Newcastle United and the brilliance of Peter Beardsley. Last season, Beardsley sank Spurs at White Hart Lane with a wonderful winning goal.